14th and 15th at the CWLP substation located at 3600 Ridgely Road. In both incidents, a large amount of fiber optic wire was damaged, causing approximately $55,000 in damage collectively between both incidents. Photos of the damage can be viewed on our website, cashyourtips.us. If you can identify the suspect or suspects, call Crime Stoppers anonymously at 217-788-8427, submit a tip on our website, or use the P3 mobile app. If your tip results in an arrest, you could receive a cash reward up to $2,500. Remember, Crime Stoppers only want your information, not your name.
Catch a criminal, get a reward. Crime Stoppers of Sangamon and Menard County, sponsored by the Springfield office of Barcom Security. BarcomSecurity.com. Have a secure day.
Unpunished crime. Do you wonder sometimes if you're next on a criminal's target list? It's hard to know the real answer, but it's easy to make sure that you and your family are more secure. Barcom Security protects by minimizing response times. When trouble strikes, you're backed up with a live person who takes your call 24 hours a day. Contact the Springfield office of Barcom Security for a free estimate and have a secure day.
The Ramsey Show.
So if you have $4 million, Mama's going to be just fine when you die, financially speaking. I'm sure she'll cry. My wife is actually planning my death, and it's got me very concerned. Y'all. I just need to say that out loud in front of everybody.
Oh, Sharon loves Dave.
We've been married almost 40 years, and all of my estate plan is predicating on me predeceasing her, and I don't know how she knows that. So that's bothersome.
The Ramsey Show, weeknights at 10, sponsored by INB. Bank Easy. Bank INB.
To protect his family from disaster, Steve used his camera phone.
Done.
By taking pictures of his important documents, Steve can always have them stored online. Learn more simple disaster prep tips at ready.gov. A message from FEMA and the Ad Council.
Springfield's Morning News with Greg Bishop, broadcasting from the Fly SPI studios. Take the easy way out. 92.7 WMAY, Springfield's news and talk.
Thursday, it is Springfield's Morning News. I'm Greg Bishop on 92.7 WMAY, Springfield's News and Talk, and we're almost through the week. And after yesterday, beautiful day in downtown Springfield, the sun was shining, and you had hundreds of gun owners in downtown Springfield marching through the capital city, heading towards the Capitol to lobby their lawmakers. And this after, of course, we have the assault weapons ban that's been in place since January 10th, and a slew of lawsuits that have been filed against the ban from state level and federal level challenges. A lot to get to on all of this, including some of what was talked about at the rally at the convention center in Springfield, but also some of what was talked about at the rally outside the Capitol at the Lincoln statue, a popular rallying point for a lot of various groups, including gun owners who came to Springfield yesterday. But we were able to, at least before those gatherings, ask the governor about his message for gun owners. And it was yesterday also Ag Day for people to go and lobby their lawmakers concerning Illinois agriculture. And the governor was taking part in that. So at a separate event, he did take some questions from various members of the media. And here's some of what the governor had to say yesterday when asked about what his message is for those rallying in Springfield to secure their rights to keep and bear arms.
Well, let's start with just everybody's voice should be heard if people want to gather and make their point. This is obviously the city to do it in with the legislators here in session. So we welcome everybody, all views. We also, of course, are here, 3 days after this terrible shooting in Nashville. We all grieve, I think, for the 3 adults and 3 very young children who died that day, but also deeply concerned about the kinds of weapons that were used in that attack. One person with a couple of assault-style weapons and other weapons on her. And we pray that'll never happen in the state of Illinois, and certainly an assault weapons ban will help us to limit the possibility of that ever occurring.
So what message do you have for what could be potentially thousands of Illinoisans marching down the street?
Again, we welcome their voices. We can all have disagreements on important issues, but their voices should be heard.
So again, we can all have disagreements on certain issues, but their voices should be heard, he says. And there are disagreements on these issues, including various lawsuits that have been filed against the gun ban that was enacted January 10th. A week or so later, you had a state-level lawsuit, another state-level lawsuit, and then a week after that, you had several federal lawsuits that were filed. State-level cases, you've got one out of Macon County where a judge in a final order on a county level said that the law is unconstitutional. That's all the way up into the Illinois Supreme Court with a hearing in mid-May. You've got 3 other state-level cases that attorney Thomas DeVore has. He's proceeding with discovery to find out how exactly this law came together and what kinds of rationale there were used in order to carve out police, retired police, those in the security sector, prison wardens, jailers. Why are they carved out of this law and can go out and buy certain semi-automatic weapons and magazines of certain capacities and not have to register their firearms? Why are they carved out of the law while you've got regular citizens with a Second Amendment not able to purchase these types of weapons that the governor and the legislature has deemed assault weapons? So the equal protections arguments are in the state level courts, and then you've got the Second Amendment arguments that are in the federal courts, and 4 cases filed there, consolidated in the Southern District of Illinois. That is going to be heard in East St. Louis April 12th. So we'll be watching both of those state level and federal level cases very closely, as we have been here each and every morning with Springfield's Morning News. Now, you heard the governor there. Coming back, we'll hear what was talked about during Illinois Gun Owner Lobby Day. And in particular, we'll start with the conversations that were being had at the Convention Center in Springfield with Illinois State Rifle Association Executive Director Richard Pearson, their lobbyist Ed Sullivan, also House Minority Leader Tony McCombie spoke. So we'll hear from those 3 next here on WMAY. It is Springfield's Morning News. I'm Greg Bishop. Got to take a break at 6:16. Let's take a look at Springfield's dependable 5-day forecast, where today, after yesterday was gorgeous, today we're looking at mostly sunny skies, 64 the high. Overnight, though, got a chance of some thunderstorms. Into Friday, chance of storms. Then Friday night, we're looking at a low of 36 with a chance of storms. After getting up to near 70 Friday, Saturday, it's going to be breezy with 47 degrees the high. Got downtown Springfield going to be a buzz with runners for the Lincoln Presidential Half Marathon Saturday. So be noteful of the traffic and be sure to cheer them on, because if they're dealing with some winds, that's not going to be fun. Sunday, you're looking at sunny skies with a high of 62. It's going to be breezy. And then Monday, the high of 69 here in Springfield with mostly sunny skies. 35 now at 617 from Culver's West on Wabash.
It's time to apply at Culver's West on Wabash. We're hiring all positions. And did we mention free food? Only at Culver's West on Wabash.
Hello, I'm Dr. Tanya DeSanto. At Prairie Dental Group, we let our patients do the talking.
Not just my friends who noticed it right away, but when I see my docs, and they'll say, let me look in your mouth, and go, oh, beautiful teeth, beautiful smile.
We sat down and talked about what we were going to do and how we were going to do it, and you guys were willing to work with us. You have your ducks in a row.
So I had to have a root canal, and doing that, there was no discomfort. It was basically just come in and take a nap while you did the work.
I just love them. They're all great. They treat me good. Couldn't have a better place to go.
I would highly recommend Prairie Dental. Absolutely, for sure.
Come see why so many of your friends and neighbors choose the all-women staff at Prairie Dental Group. Make your appointment today by calling 217-546-0412. Prairie Dental Group is located at the corner of Greenbrier and West White Oaks Drive right here in Springfield. And you can also find us on our website at prairiedentalgroup.com.
And thank you for voting us the best dental office in Springfield 8 years in a row.
Here at Warren Boynton State Bank, we're proud to be a true community bank since 1877. We remind you that the goal of a community bank is to work together with our customers and communities to help move them forward in positive ways. When we accept your deposits, we invest that money right back into this area, into homes, farms, and small businesses. One of our primary goals is to help this community in any way we can. And because we've invested in you, our friends and neighbors, our bank is safe and sound and in business to stay. We're sincere in our care and concern for this community. Our employers, directors, and managers are people you know, people who are dedicated to making this a better place to live. Discover what a true community bank is at Warren Boynton State Bank, 3030 Spring Mill Drive in Springfield. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Warren Boynton, your bank.
Springfield, I'm Misty Busher, your candidate for mayor. I am running for mayor to be the change I want to see in our community. I have highlighted the need for economic development, improvements to infrastructure, and making our citizens feel safe in their neighborhoods. I have a plan for beautification of our city and even came up with an exciting plan for our Lake Springfield Beach House. Please join our first responders in supporting me. I ask for your vote April 4th for mayor as I bring new leadership for a better Springfield, paid for by Friends of Misty Busher.
There are 3 words I always hear when someone from our staff is on the phone. We got it. Hi, it's Laurie from Rex Battery, and whenever somebody calls us and asks if we have a certain type of battery, the answer is always, we got it. Even in those very rare instances we don't, we know how to get it. And if we don't know how to get it, we'll build it. That's how committed we are to making sure you have the power you need, from model cars to real cars, from toys to tractors, dog collars to doorbells, riding mowers to remote keys. If it takes a battery, we have it at Rex Battery. Over 75,000 batteries in stock right now. So if you're wondering if we've got a battery, yep, we've got it. They're fresh, fully charged, and ready to go. Keep Central Illinois fully powered for over 60 years. Rex Battery, Clear Lake, west of Dirksen.
Rex Battery, generations of power.
John, do you remember what you were doing, say, about 10 years ago?
About as good as recalling what happened last week.
Right. Well, if you purchase, say, a dishwasher at Dick Van Dyke Appliance World 9 years and 364 days ago, it'd still be covered.
By the famous 10-year protection plan, of course.
Well, it's included with most purchases at Dick Van Dyke. And according to one Google reviewer, they still had unmatched prices and helpful people who delivered and set up the appliances without hassle.
The review mentions that they shopped around, did the comparison, and still found the best value at Dick Van Dyke.
So can you really not recall what you did last week?
Can you?
Now that I think of it, not really.
This is Dennis Regan, chairman of Dick Van Dyke Appliance World. Our exclusive 10-year protection plan comes free with most appliance purchases, and we still beat any competitor's deal. Wow!
Dick Van Dyke Appliance World. When you buy from us, you get the whole store. Springfield Supportive Living. Are you young enough?
We have a lot of new people, a lot of old people like me who've been here a while, and just the camaraderie, all the good people. We have great staff. We have a lot of fun here. I've always been happy to be here. It's great fun.
Springfield Supportive Living. Are you young enough?
To protect his family from disaster, Steve used his camera phone. Done. By taking pictures of his important documents, Steve can always have them stored online. Learn more simple disaster prep tips at ready.gov. A message from FEMA and the Ad Council.
All right, head on over to WMAY.com/poll where you can take today's daily poll, which asks, what do you think of the Springfield Treasurers race? You like Lisa Badger for that? You like Bill McCarty for that? Or you like Colleen Redpath-Fager for that? Right now, it's split between Colleen Redpath-Fager and Bill McCarty. That's going to be a close one. Go vote at WMAY.com. April 4th is the actual election, but hey, we're taking a pulse of the community, so go check that out. WMAY.com/poll.
Springfield's Morning News with Greg Bishop. Weekdays 6 till 9 on 92.7 WMAY.
Yesterday was iGold. There were hundreds of people in Springfield marching through the streets, gun owners demanding their Second Amendment rights be restored. As they say, the semi-automatic ban in Illinois is a violation of their rights. And this, of course, is being litigated as we have even more litigation expected if these particular measures don't get shot down by the courts. You've also got other legislation that's being proposed. Another reason why the gun lobby in Illinois is adamant that gun owners continue to be activated and to donate to various causes. And that was one of the messages that was brought up yesterday at the Prairie Capital Convention Center, now known as the Bank of Springfield Center, and BOS Centers, where a lot of people gather for conventions and concerts even. And that's also where every year that iGold happens. It's where they have like a meeting of sorts to lay out, here's what you got to talk with your lawmakers about. We're going to march down here and this is where you're going to go and all of this. But there's also time for various words that are shared concerning the status of things. And that's where Richard Pearson yesterday, the executive director of the Illinois State Rifle Association, shared some of his thoughts, but also you hear from Ed Sullivan, who is a lobbyist for the State Rifle Association, and also finished up here with this clip is House Minority Leader Tony McCombie talking about her thoughts on where we're at with gun rights in Illinois.
This case that we're looking at will change not only Illinois, but every state in the union. Okay, it eats time, it eats money, and that's what the state wants, because the state has the ability to use my money to fight me. I have to use my money and your money to fight them. So they use our money against us. But that doesn't mean we're going away. That doesn't mean we're going to give up. We are going to fight on no matter what. So we have a battery of other cases. We are going to batter them with lawsuits, and we're going to keep them busy constantly.
They're like, well, where's the happy ground? I said, well, there really isn't, because your side doesn't understand our side, and our side doesn't understand your side, so there's really isn't a middle ground. And so, what's the difference? And they asked, well, what's the difference between us? And I relayed a couple stories. When I grew up, when I was 12, I would take a 22 410 over-under out on the farm, and I'd go hit cans or, shoot at different things and maybe bring home a grouse. And my parents didn't even think twice about seeing me leave in the morning and come back right about lunch. They didn't really worry about that. You couldn't see that in modern times with some of the suburbanites out here. I relayed the story, and I did it for cause. In this hearing, I talked about my son Finn, who at the age of 11 or 12, if you handed him an AR-15, he could disassemble it, clean it, reassemble it, load it with a 30-round mag, and hit a target at 50 rounds, and he was 12 years old. What's the difference between us and them? We're cheering, I'm crying, and I'm proud. But we teach responsible gun ownership to our children. And we'll never see us as a group have problems with that because of it. So in the audience at those hearings were the moms demand actions. I heard from some of the people sitting in there that a few of them thought that maybe I should be charged with child endangerment by DCFS because of my actions. That's the difference between them and us. We also would not even think about relying on government to protect us. That's the difference between them and us. So, little story, said mainly because my son's here.
The one purpose of all of this legislation is to take away our Second Amendment rights. And I say, boo! My comms person is like, that is not in your script at all. No, it's not. I will say, though, as the House Republican leader, I'm proud to stand before you I'm proud to stand with you. And I'm proud to stand with my Republican caucus to do everything that we can in our unwavering defense of our Second Amendment rights. In Northwest Illinois and in my district and throughout most of the state, there is a healthy culture of hunting to put food on our tables, educating our youth and families, building bonds through sport. Personally, I like the sport, as many of the women in the room do, because we're a much better shot than our husbands, and we like to remind them of that. Come on, girls, you can do better than that. Our culture, our values, and our rights cannot be discounted, and that is why you are all here today, to remind lawmakers that we have the Second Amendment rights and what exactly that means. Poor policy decisions have put us in a position why you're all here. Every day, our caucus fights bad legislation like gun registries, gun bans, and cumbersome regulations. Our colleagues on the other side of the aisle do not solicit or consider stakeholders' opinions. They pass bills that affect all of us in the dead of the night without transparency and without time allowing you to weigh in. It is wrong, and we will continue to fight against this bad behavior. Democrats in the House of Representatives have acted like the only solution to solving crimes of bad people, to illegal guns, to mass shootings, to increasing criminal gun violence is gun bans. They act like there is no compromise, and that is just not true. We want crimes to be punished. We don't want crimes to go unpunished. We want those that need help to be helped. The Illinois House Republicans want to offer solutions. We support increased mental health services and giving law enforcement the training and the tools that they need to do their jobs. There are bad actors in every industry, every area of our state, but that does not mean that constitutional rights can fall by the wayside. We must protect our rights to bear arms. Many policy decisions, ones that have been hastily made or do not take our rights into account, have negative consequences. We have seen these policies fail time after time. As leader, know our caucus is working to ensure that we do what we can as Republicans and as law-abiding gun owners to prevent any future poor policy from coming and harming our communities. We will continue to enact and push for policies that make our communities safer, protect law-abiding gun owners, and respect law enforcement.
Again, that's Toni McCombie. She's the House Minority Leader speaking in front of gun owners during the pre-lobby event for the speakers at the Bank of Springfield Center here in Springfield. And after that, they then headed outside and they marched through the streets of Springfield, which is always something interesting to see. And coming up, I'll share some of what was said outside of the Capitol after hundreds of individuals marched to the Capitol. So we'll get to that coming up here next on WMAY. It is Springfield's Morning News. I'm Greg Bishop. Follow along all the time, anywhere. Just search Bishop on Air, and you and I can connect that way. Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, and shout out to everybody tuned in on YouTube. Greatly appreciate you guys each and every weekday morning. Much more coming up here, all right? Stay tuned. It is Springfield's Morning News as we look at some of what was talked about yesterday at Illinois Gun Owner Lobby Day. All right, right now, though, it's 6:33. We've got to take a break.
News sponsored by Just Beds. A great night's sleep starts with a visit to the yawn exterminators at Just Beds. Online at justbedsinc.com. BuddyQuest.com.
3120 Montvale Drive, Springfield.
Where do you go when you want to get in shape?
The Body Quest store, the Body Quest store.
High quality exercise equipment for your home.
The Body Quest store, the Body Quest store.
The quest for the healthier you begins at
The Body Quest store, the Body Quest store.
3120 Montvale Drive.
The Body Quest store, the Body Quest store.
787-9930.
The Body Quest store, the Body Quest store.
The quest for the healthier you begins at the Body Quest store. 3120 Montvale Drive, Springfield.
You have cancer. 3 words you wish you could unhear. While a cancer diagnosis may be a shock to your system, cancer surgery doesn't have to be. Now there's Edge Radiosurgery at HSHS St. John's Cancer Center. Edge technology breaks down tumors non-invasively. No incision or hospital stay required. Now that's the kind of news you want to hear.
This afternoon, to celebrate the second
irritation can occur. Treatment times may vary.
Do-it-yourself ordering kiosks now inside Head West mean getting your sub faster.
I don't want the same old thing. I got a craving for a Head West brownie today. Yeah!
Got a tax refund coming? Put those hard-earned funds to work for you. Earmark a few bucks for a nice laptop at BLH Computers. Whether you're upgrading or replacing, it comes with the exclusive BLH guarantee. That means you're prepared for the many tax seasons to come. Clear off the desk and bring the old unit for safe recycling too. Visit BLH Computers in Jacksonville, Taylorville, and Springfield, and always online at blhcomputers.com.
Have you been following how the campaign for Springfield City Treasurer has a clear difference in candidate experience?
I have been, and have been very impressed by the current Deputy Treasurer, Colleen Redpath-Feger. She's actually been investing the city's funds with a proven successful track record of positive returns for us taxpayers.
You can't say the same for Bill McCarty. As budget director, his experience has been scheming to tax and spend more of our hard-earned tax dollars.
Not to mention that under McCarty's leadership as budget director, the city has raised taxes and fees multiple times during the last 2 administrations.
We can't afford a tax and spender like Bill McCarty in the city treasurer's office.
Agreed. That's why I'm voting for Colleen Redpath-Feger. Her experience working in the city treasurer's office will guarantee continued positive returns for all of Springfield.
Learn more before you vote on April 4th.
This message is paid for and approved by Citizens for New Leadership.
Less hassle, more travel. We've got connections, Springfield to Dallas to anywhere. The Abraham Lincoln Capital Airport remains open for you. Your hometown airport is committed to providing a safe, clean, and healthy travel experience. Security lines are short, parking is always free, and customer service is a top priority. Book your next American Airlines flight from SPI at aa.com. Fly local, fly SPI.
Take the easy way out.
Welcome to Green Certified West, where the cars we sell are simply the best. Located on the corner of Veterans and Isles, our certified vehicles will make you smile mile after mile. We've got a team that is just plain fun. Our GOAT Squad is ready to get the job done. Have you heard of the GOAT quote? We're buying cars that'll make us gloat. Simply log on to greencertifiedwest.com and take a look. Your instant GOAT quote offer will be off the hook. So would you shop for your next ride with the GOAT Squad at Green Certified?
To protect his family from disaster, Steve used his camera phone. Done. By taking pictures of his important documents, Steve can always have them stored online. Learn more simple disaster prep tips at ready.gov. A message from FEMA and the Ad Council.
Let's take a look at Springfield's dependable 5-day forecast this morning. We've got a high of around 64 with mostly sunny skies. Tonight, the low of only 66. That's right. Temperature's going to be increasing overnight because we've got storms on the way. Friday, the high near 70 with a chance of severe weather. Friday nights, severe weather continues. That possibility, the low of 36. As that temperature swings, Saturday, it's going to be windy, breezy, 47 the high. Saturday night, the low of 30. By Sunday, we're looking at a high of 62 with breezy conditions, yet sunny. Monday, we're looking at a high of near 70 with mostly sunny skies, but there is a chance of rain. Right now, 35 degrees at 6:38 on WMAY.
I'm Peter Greenberg, and this is today's Ion Travel Minute. 80% of all the people in America who've ever turned 80 are alive today. The share of travelers aged 60 plus has more than doubled. In fact, 60 plus travelers are the biggest travel group at nearly 37% of all travelers. The 35 to 49 year age group represents just 20% of all travelers. And they're voting with their wallets, spending more than all other age groups as well. Traveling less to Western Europe, but choosing Africa, the Gulf countries, and Asia. Choosing more physically active itineraries and focusing less on expensive material purchases. They just want to buy experiences. Now the question is if the travel industry can adjust fast enough. For more information, visit petergreenberg.com. I'm Peter Greenberg, and this is today's Ion Travel Minute.
When you're trying to hire and fill open jobs, the searching, screening, and interviewing can become its own job. You need Indeed. They're a powerful hiring platform that makes it easy to attract, interview, and hire quality people. Visit Indeed.com/credit.
Springfield's Morning News with Greg Bishop, broadcasting from the Fly SPI Studios. Take the easy way out. 92.7 WMAY, Springfield's News and Talk.
Hundreds of gun owners in the streets of Springfield yesterday. Governor J.B. Pritzker, he had been asked what his message is for those gun owners that were rallying in Springfield yesterday. The governor had a separate event. Here's what he had to say.
Well, let's start with just everybody's voice should be heard. If people want to gather and make their point, this is obviously the city to do it in, with the legislators here in session. So we welcome everybody, all views. We also, of course, are here, 3 days after this terrible shooting in Nashville. We all grieve, I think, for the 3 adults and 3 very young children who died that day. But also deeply concerned about the kinds of weapons that were used in that attack. One person with a couple of assault-style weapons and other weapons on her. And we pray that'll never happen in the state of Illinois, and certainly an assault weapons ban will help us to limit the possibility of that ever occurring.
So what message do you have for what could be potentially thousands of Illinoisans marching down the street?
Again, we welcome their voices. We can all have disagreements on important issues, but their voices should be heard.
So you heard the governor there responding to the question of what message does he have. There weren't thousands there, but there were hundreds that were gun owners in Springfield from across the state marching towards the state capitol to lobby their lawmakers to push back against restrictive gun control, which Illinois, having the most strict gun laws in the nation, among the most strict, everything from the requirement for a firearm owner identification card to the new ban on 170 plus semi-automatic weapons and magazines over a certain capacity. So gun owners obviously making their voice heard. Was not as large as previous IGOLDs I had seen, especially as we saw the lead up to the concealed carry law being implemented. And that was back in 2013. There were 7,000 people in downtown Springfield for that. I don't know if this was poorly advertised. I had people coming up to me yesterday saying, I only heard about this because you talked about it on your show. But the State Rifle Association being the one that organizes the Illinois Gun Owner Lobby Day, and we heard from Executive Director Richard Pearson when he spoke to gatherers at the Bank of Springfield Center yesterday. And after that, they then marched. They marched through the streets to the Capitol building where they rallied and heard from a slew of speakers. And those speakers will share with you now some of what they had to say. And this is starting off with State Representative Chris Miller, and you'll hear from Blaine Wilhauer, Jed Davis. Also, you've got C.D. Davidsmeyer, and one other as well. I forget exactly all who spoke, but here's a compilation of those voices that were being shared yesterday outside the Capitol complex in Springfield.
This afternoon, to celebrate the Second Amendment, my name is Chris Miller. I'm the chairman of the Illinois Freedom Caucus. We're joined with the patriots in Washington, D.C. that got you better rules and the right to govern for we the people. One thing that we need to remember is the fight for freedom never ends. And there's one thing that we know experientially, that the very republic hangs in the balance, depending on patriots like you to stand up, to push back and say, not on my watch are we ever going to relinquish our guns. Never, not now, not never, not down the road, not ever. And we need to make sure that we continue to show up at events like this, because we are not descendants of fearful men. We just celebrated our Vietnam veterans inside today, and we celebrate the veterans that have gone before us that have sacrificed much. We stand in the shadow of Abraham Lincoln right back here that said that we were conceived in liberty. We're conceived in liberty. And what does that mean to each one of us? That means that the seed or the idea of freedom was planted in the heart of a young nation. The seed of freedom and the idea that we can live free was planted into the hearts of young patriots. And it's our responsibility as American freedom-loving citizens to make sure that we plant our feet in the right place, that we're on the solid rock, and we're steadfast, unmovable, always abounding in the work of the Lord, for our labor is not in vain in Him. God bless you and thank you, and God bless America, and God bless the state of Illinois.
All right, Illinois gun owners, how y'all doing? Now come on, now your Second Amendment, your constitutional rights are under assault in this state right now. Illinois gun owners, how y'all doing? All right, let's go, guys. Hey, we may not have the numbers in this place, but we got the law, we got the Constitution is on our side here. And if J.B. Pritzker thinks that he's going to come and make you register your legally obtained firearms, you better pack a lunch, right? Because it ain't happening, all right? So we got to keep up the fight. Thank you guys for being up here. It's all about you. You're the one that's moving the fight on this. So God bless you guys, and let's go forward. Thank you.
Freedom. Yeah, I'm Jed Davis, state rep of the 75th. Hey, and just yesterday, I think this is really critical, we had a rep stand up on the House floor talking about that crazy ban that just came through with the words saying it is not enough. And that really irked me. It is way too much. We cannot yield another line, and we need to continually push back against the insanity that is happening behind us here in Springfield. Enough is enough. It is not enough. Heck, is way too much, right? Enough of this garbage. We are free people of the United States of America, and it is time that we stand upon the Constitution and the freedoms that God implanted within our hearts and stand firm, and we will stand on your behalf, all of the men and women behind us. We are so grateful for you. We can do it. We will continue the voice in severing freedom for the people of this state.
We need you. We have to sit across the aisle having these bad bills shoved down our throats. We need you today. We need you every single day. If you're from an area that your legislator is not proud to be up here, tell them that you need them to be up here and stand up for you. Again, not just today, every day of the year, because that's what it's going to take. Thank you.
Hey, everybody, Chapin Rose, 51st Senate District, Lawrence County to Vermilion County, straight up the Indiana line. Welcome to Springfield, everybody. Thank you for supporting our Second Amendment. I want to say one thing that Chris Miller picked up on. You don't need a law to protect you in your own home. God gave us the right to protect us in our own home. This is from on high. It doesn't come from a politician. It doesn't come from anybody in this building. It sure as hell doesn't come from J.B. Pritzker. Each one of us has a right to defend ourselves, our families, and our homes. End of story. That's why it's in the Constitution of the United States.
When we talk about the Second Amendment, I think many of these people don't understand why the Second Amendment was created. It wasn't created so that I can take my son hunting, right? Why was it created? To fight back against tyranny, right? So that's what we're fighting for. Also, my wife, her family's from Ohio. If they come here, they have more rights than I do because I have a FOID card, right? That's absolutely ridiculous that we are second-class citizens in our own state. We have to make changes, and we have to protect legal, law-abiding gun owners. Protect our rights. Thank you.
So again, that was just some of the voices there at the rally outside the Lincoln statue here in Springfield at the state capitol, where Illinois Gun Owner Lobby Day took place yesterday. Will we see similar actions where hundreds of people gather at the Illinois State House? It'll be interesting as this case progresses, as the state's ban on certain semi-automatic weapons continues, and the challenges in the courts play out. You've got, again, a hearing that's going to be happening April 12th in the consolidated federal cases. And coming up mid-May, you've got the case that is going to be heard in the Illinois Supreme Court. So a lot more still to be said about all of this. And, of course, you can sound off on it here with WMAY at 217-629-7970. Let's see if we can go ahead and get a call. Good morning. You're on WMAY.
Greg, they lose me with the God stuff. It's a God-given right. Who's God? What's his name? Which one?
It's an unalienable or an inalienable right. Is that better for you than maybe, it could be any God that you prefer? How about this? A power higher than you.
He said the reason it's in the Constitution is because it's a God-given right.
Why does that bother you so much? Is there another power that you can give that to? Is there something that's beyond you, or are you only going to bow to a man like yourself to give you rights?
Me and that gentleman don't jive with the same God. So his God gave him, quote-unquote, this right. That makes no sense to me.
So inalienable in the U.S. Constitution, where do you draw that line then? To whoever says that you have those rights or not, whatever government is elected at that time?
I don't think a mythical sky ghost leaned down a staff and gave the forefathers.
I don't think that's what he said. He didn't talk about a spaghetti monster or anything like that.
Chris
He's
Miller
talking about
absolutely
a power greater than man. And
I think Chris Miller absolutely believes that, Greg.
Sure.
Chris Miller absolutely believes that.
And his point is, and others pointing out, that indeed your rights under the Bill of Rights and the Constitution, especially the first and second, and the right to not have to be forced to say something, the right to not have to incriminate yourself, the right to due process. These are rights that go to you, not from some government. That's their point. It's not from...
Everything can be infringed on except the Second Amendment. Everything can be infringed upon except the Second Amendment.
It says in the Second Amendment shall not be infringed.
Everything else in the Constitution can be infringed. Because are we resting on Chris Miller's? Because God said so. Get your religion out of my politics. That's all I got to say. Thanks, Greg.
All right. Have a good day. Hopefully it doesn't disturb you too much that people believe in higher power. But anyways. All right. That's, of course, part of the debate. And is the debate able to be had? We'll have a display of that. Thomas Massey and another U.S. representative getting into a verbal altercation in Congress. We'll touch on that next year on WMAY. But you can always sound off at 217-629-7970. All right. Stay tuned. Much more coming up. It is Springfield's Morning News at 6:51 from Culver's West on Wabash.
It's time to apply at Culver's West on Wabash. We're hiring all positions, and did we mention free food? Only at Culver's West on Wabash.
Dang birds. Can't clean up that windshield. But we can clean your office, your school, your clinic, or other amazing workplace. Learn more at cleanimpactllc.com. Can't clean up your playlist, but we can clean your office, your school, your clinic, or other amazing workplace. Learn more at cleanimpactllc.com.
Springfield, I'm Misty Busher, your candidate for mayor. I am running for mayor to be the change I want to see in our community. I have highlighted the need for economic development, improvements to infrastructure, and making our citizens feel safe in their neighborhoods. I have a plan for beautification of our city and even came up with an exciting plan for our Lake Springfield Beach House. Please join our first responders in supporting me. I ask for your vote April 4th for mayor as I bring new leadership for a better Springfield, paid for by Friends of Misty Busher.
Greetings, hard-working Springfieldians. It's your friendly neighborhood Lauterbach man here. And if you don't mind me saying, you have a silly job. I know it's silly because you're not working for me, the Lauterbach man at Lauterbach Tire on Wabash. Imagine going to cocktail parties and saying, I work for the biggest man in town. Well, we're hiring, looking for smart service people and talented techs. You know that job you have that makes you work on weekends? Not here, my friend. We want our folks to enjoy themselves on the weekends and then come in refreshed, ready to make Springfield cars run great. Fantastic benefits, a nice juicy paycheck, and lots of ways to advance. Why, we have fellas who have worked here for over a decade. It's a fine family business if I do say so myself, so leave that silly job and come work someplace less silly. Except, for the giant outside. Lauterbach Tire on Wabash. Drive safely and come work for us now.
Love your mattress now? Wait till you try it on an adjustable base from Verlo. With just the touch of a button, you can elevate your head and kick up your feet to the most comfortable position imaginable for watching TV, reading, lounging, or whatever. And when you're ready, the adjustable base will turn your mattress back into a really, really comfortable bed. So you get a Verlo night's sleep. Good night.
The Verlo Mattress Mismatch sale is ending soon, so you better hurry. Mismatch on the outside. Same Verlo long-lasting craftsmanship on the inside that's backed by our lifetime comfort guarantee. Just put a sheet on it, and the only difference you'll notice is how much you saved. Yep, Mismatch is ending soon. So hurry in now for unbeatable values during the Verlo Mattress Mismatch. It's our biggest sale of the year.
Anxiety. There's plenty of it to go around for just about everyone these days, but the question is, how are you dealing with it? Anxiety can make things difficult. If you find yourself reaching for drugs or alcohol as the solution, chances are your anxiety has gotten out of control. It's time to pick up the phone and call Gateway Foundation. You'll talk with someone who holds the strictest confidentiality so that you can open up and learn about treatment options. Our team of professional counselors, therapists, psychiatrists, and physicians have a long history of helping people like you get back on track. During the healing process, you'll find that there is nothing to be ashamed of. Calling Gateway Foundation is that important first step towards getting away from the self-medication of alcohol and other substances and on the road towards safe, rewarding, and sustainable recovery. Call Gateway Foundation at 877-505-HOPE for a free, private, confidential screening. Gateway Foundation, addiction medicine saving lives.
Unpunished crime. Do you wonder sometimes if you're next on a criminal's target list? It's hard to know the real answer, but it's easy to make sure that you and your family are more secure. Barcom Security protects by minimizing response times. When trouble strikes, you're backed up with a live person who takes your call 24 hours a day. Contact the Springfield office of Barcom Security for a free estimate and have a secure day.
Imagine buying a pair of sneakers and getting a soothing, gentle foot massage like you'd get during a relaxing pedicure just by walking. Skechers' new Massage Fit sneakers. Because Skechers, the comfort technology company, has designed a unique innovation that makes it feel like you're pampering your feet with a gentle massage in every step. The secret is Skechers' new patented wave technology on the sole that gently massages your feet while you're walking around. Find them for men and women at a Skechers store, Skechers.com, or wherever stylish footwear is sold.
Listen and watch the interviews with today's newsmakers on Facebook and YouTube. Like and subscribe now. Springfield's Morning News with Greg Bishop on 92.7 WMAY.
The caller, of course, highlighting how the debate about the Second Amendment, what it means, how it can get derailed when passions might supersede logic. Instead of talking about the issue at hand, you're then all of a sudden characterizing somebody you don't like a certain way as being, oh, that's too Christian for me, oh, that's too God for me, and whatnot. Well, how do we have these debates if that's the track we're going to end up going? In the halls of Congress yesterday, literally in the halls, a similar debate took place between U.S. Representative Thomas Massie and Representative Jamal Bowman, who had this exchange exchange in front of a bunch of cameras that were rolling.
Children at all, cowards, pressure.
Calling them cowards.
To the question, what the hell will you do right thing to save the lives of children? And let them explain that all the way up to election day on 2024.
So obviously making it political.
All the way up to election day on 2024. They're freaking cowards. They're
calling them cowards.
We're not here. I'm talking about gun violence.
You know, there's never been
gun cowards.
in a school that allows teachers to carry.
Thomas Massey talking about how there's not been any shootings where you allow guns to be carried by teachers. More screaming.
You're not looking at any data.
More screaming.
You're carrying the water for the gun lobby.
Wagging fingers in face.
More guns lead to more deaths. States that have open carry laws have more deaths.
Emotion. Can't have rational debate. Emotion.
Are you listening to what I'm saying?
More emotion.
Calm down, children are dying. 9-year-old children. Because the solution is not arming teachers. Have you ever worked in a school? Have you ever worked in a school?
Ad hominem.
Have you ever worked in a school? Listen, yes or no question. Have you ever worked in a school? You will not answer my question. Don't stop and talk to me.
So,
okay, I'll bring it down a notch.
All right, folks.
Have you ever worked in a school?
I've got a bill to repeal.
I worked in the school for 20 years.
You're just screaming.
I was a teacher. I was screaming before you came and interrupted me.
Right.
I worked in the school for 20 years.
So yeah, you can see how obviously the debate is a difficult debate to have when you let emotions pour over.
From the Fly SPI studios, take the easy way out. WMAY FM, Taylorville, Springfield's news and talk is 92.7 WMAY.
Here's the latest from ABC News. I'm Emlyn. An update on Pope Francis hospitalized in Rome with a respiratory infection. A statement just out from the Vatican says His Holiness rested well during the night, his clinical pictures progressively improving, and that he had breakfast, read some papers, and is working this morning.
I hope God is looking over him and gives him many, many more years to come, and hope he gets better soon.
American tourist Claudia Penuelas at the Vatican. An Army helicopter crash in Kentucky last night. 2 choppers down with no word on how many casualties were on board.
Army officials said in a statement that 2 Black Hawk helicopters crashed during a training exercise Wednesday night in Trigg County, Kentucky. The choppers were from the 101st Airborne Division, and they crashed about 25 miles northwest of Fort Campbell. Kentucky Governor Andy Beshear says he received reports of the crash and was told fatalities are expected. Fort Campbell officials say they're focused on caring for the service members and their families. Mark Remillard, ABC News.
Anger boiling over in Congress. New York Democrat Jamal Bowman blaming Republicans for what he says is their refusal to take action on gun violence in the wake of the Nashville school shooting.
What are they doing about it? Nothing. They don't have the courage.
Kentucky Republican Thomas Massey says the answer to school shootings is arming teachers and staff with guns. Meantime, a candlelight vigil last night for the 3 children and 3 adults killed at that Nashville Christian school.
Evelyn Dickhouse, Hallie Scruggs, and William Kinney, all 9 years old. Overnight, Dickhouse's family saying they're overwhelmed by the outpouring of love and support. Also killed, substitute teacher Cynthia Peak, custodian Mike Hill, and school headmaster Catherine Kuntz. Trisha Drake, a former colleague of Kuntz's, says their last email exchange was about active shooter training in school.
I can't believe that was my last conversation with her.
ABC's Andrew Dimbert. This is ABC News.
The Dell Technologies semi-annual sale starts now with limited quantity deals on select performance PCs powered by 12th Gen Intel Core processors. Save on select Vostro laptops with built-in security features and select Latitude laptops with enhanced privacy, collaboration, and connectivity. Save on select essential accessories plus free shipping and special financing with Dell Business Credit. Call a Dell Technologies advisor at 877-ASK-DELL. That's 877-ASK-DELL.
Heart failure, carpal tunnel syndrome, shortness of breath, stomach issues, lower back pain. How does it all add up? If you have heart failure and any of those seemingly unrelated symptoms sound familiar, it's time to talk with your cardiologist and get the full picture. They may add up to transthyretin amyloid cardiomyopathy. ATTR-CM is a rare and underdiagnosed disease. Recognize the signs and discuss them with your doctor soon. Learn more at connectwithyourheart.com. That's connectwithyourheart.com. Sponsored.
All right, coming up, we've got some conversations about the upcoming elections. That's right, another round of elections. Here we are, coming up Tuesday, municipal and consolidated elections. We'll actually talk with a local school board candidate who's been targeted by the Democratic Party of Illinois. Plus, we'll take a look at why municipal races are so important. A former Chicago alderman will join us. And also, we'll talk about the YMCA, the census. We've got tons more to get to here with Springfield's Morning News. Now, 7:03, I'm Greg Bishop on WMAY.
News.
Weather.
92.7 WMAY. Springfield's News and Talk.
I'm Don Howard. Our top story, the University of Illinois Springfield has been recognized as a voter-friendly campus. The designation is given to colleges and universities around the country that have taken steps to encourage students to register and vote.
News sponsored by CBD Botanicals. Visit CBD Botanicals in Springfield and Edwardsville. Online at cbdbotanicals.com.
Have you been following how the campaign for Springfield City Treasurer has a clear difference in candidate experience?
I have been, and have been very impressed by the current Deputy Treasurer, Colleen Redpath-Feger. She's actually been investing the city's funds with a proven successful track record of positive returns for us taxpayers.
You can't say the same for Bill McCarty. As budget director, his experience has been scheming to tax and spend more of our hard-earned tax dollars.
Not to mention that under McCarty's leadership as budget director, the city has raised taxes and fees multiple times during the last two administrations.
We can't afford a tax and spender like Bill McCarty in the city treasurer's office.
Agreed. That's why I'm voting for Colleen Redpath-Feger. Her experience working in the city treasurer's office will guarantee continued positive returns for all of Springfield.
Learn more before you vote on April 4th.
This message is paid for and approved by Citizens for New Leadership.
This is Rob Zavitka, Director of Sales and Business Development Manager for Midwest Family Springfield. Are you the one person I'm looking for to help further build our media sales team at Midwest Family Springfield? We are the premier multimedia marketing company that no other company compares to in the Springfield area. It's really simple. I need one sales leader, a brand ambassador whose talent and team focus will thrive working with Midwest Family. Are you passionate, self-motivated, goal-oriented, and highly competitive? Are you an overachiever, a problem solver with great communication skills? Do you have the skill set for today's digital marketing? And do you believe in growing lasting partnerships? If so, apply online today at MidwestFamilySPI.com and click on the Careers tab. At Midwest Family Springfield, you'll be challenged, you'll be trained, and you'll have access to world-class tools like HubSpot CRM. Are you the one I'm looking for? If so, apply online today at MidwestFamilySPI.com and click on the Careers tab. Midwest Family is an equal opportunity employer.
Listen and watch interviews with the biggest newsmakers. Subscribe to 92.7 WMAY on YouTube.
Springfield's dependable 5-day forecast on WMAY. Mostly sunny today with a high near 51, low around 33. Tomorrow, mostly sunny with a high near 63. Showers tomorrow night with a low around 55. Friday, rain likely with a high near 68. Saturday, mostly sunny with a high near 48. Sunday, sunny with a high near 62. And Monday, a chance of rain, high near 69 degrees. I'm Don Howard, 92.7 WMAY.
Springfield's Morning News with Greg Bishop, broadcasting from the Fly SPI Studios. Take the easy way out. 92.7 WMAY. Springfield's News and Talk.
Welcome to Green Certified West, where the cars we sell are simply the best. Located on the corner of Veterans and Isles, our certified vehicles will make you smile mile after mile. We've got a team that is just plain fun. Our GOAT Squad is ready to get the job done. Have you heard of the GOAT quote? We're buying cars that'll make us gloat. Simply log on to greencertifiedwest.com and take a look. Your instant GOAT quote offer will be off the hook. So would you shop for your next ride with the GOAT Squad at Green Certified?
3120 Montvale Drive, Springfield.
Where do you go when you want to get in shape?
The Body Quest Store, the Body Quest Store.
High quality exercise equipment for your home.
The Body Quest Store, the Body Quest Store.
The quest for the healthier you begins at
The Body Quest Store, the Body Quest Store.
3120 Montvale Drive.
The Body Quest Store, the Body Quest Store.
787-9930.
The Body Quest Store, the Body Quest Store.
The quest for the healthier you begins at
the Body Quest Store.
3120 Montvale Drive, Springfield.
What are you hungry for?
A
Obed and Isaac sounds good.
They're always busy.
Yeah, they are. It's because the food is great. The selection of craft beer is amazing, and it's downtown. It couldn't be at a better location.
What if we have to wait?
We'll put in our name, give them our number to text us when our table is ready, and then go next door to the 7th Street Cidery and start there.
I like the way you think. They serve meads too, right?
Yeah, they do. You can get your mead, and I'll start with a flight of cider. They're constantly getting new ciders on tap all the time.
What if Obed's isn't busy and they seat us right away?
The cidery doesn't close till 11, so we can just finish the night there.
You've got this all figured out, don't you?
Yeah, I do. You should see my reward points that I've built up.
So, you're buying, right?
I didn't say that.
That's what I heard.
No, you didn't.
Obed and Isaac's Microbrewery, located in downtown Springfield, right next door to the 7th Street Cidery. Enjoy.
To protect his family from disaster, Steve used his camera phone.
Done.
By taking pictures of his important documents, Steve can always have them stored online. Learn more simple disaster prep tips at ready.gov. A message from FEMA and the Ad Council.
April 4th is the consolidated municipal elections in Illinois. Those are the local elections, the people who are going to be running your village, your city, your school board, your library board, your park board. If you've got these types of taxing bodies that collect taxes whenever you pay your property taxes or collect sales taxes or other tax dollars, these taxing bodies are controlled by people that you elect, or maybe you don't go to the polls. But we'll obviously see what the voter turnout's going to be. But all of these different taxing bodies all throughout the state, you've got the ability to change their direction by electing people. It's what we have in this constitutional republic. We have the ability for you to elect who's going to make the decisions on how your tax dollars are spent. Now, school districts, obviously a large portion of your property taxes in Illinois, as Illinois has to pay the second highest property taxes in the nation. You've got more than 850 school districts in Illinois. It's a lot of taxing bodies, a lot of tax dollars, and a lot of focus on elected school boards. And we've seen the Illinois Democratic Party, the Democratic Party of Illinois is the official name. They've actually given $300,000 to put out messaging in support of certain candidates across the state and in opposition to certain candidates across the state. Here in the Springfield District 186, they pointed out one particular candidate, Donna Hopwood, and she reached out and said that she wants to make clear where she stands on things, that she's not an extremist. She's just a taxpayer who has adult children. And, well, here's some of what she had to say when I chatted with her yesterday.
Well, hello. My name's Donna Hopwood, and I'm running for school board for District 186, Subdistrict 4. My background, I was a business owner for 17 years with my husband at the time. We had a silk screening and embroidery business, and I was an art teacher. I taught oil painting and drawing. I have worked several different jobs. My most current jobs is I've sat with a judge in the circuit clerk's office. I was a deputy clerk for a year and a half. I was the assistant manager in the accounting department. So I've had a lot of experience with the court systems, and now I work for the Department of Revenue with federal and state tax returns. So I've had a lot of experience with business. I've had a lot of experience with the public.
So Donna Hopwood, of course, is just one of these candidates for a particular sub-district in District 186. And you've got multiple sub-districts. Some don't have candidates opposing the incumbent. Others have 3 candidates, for instance. So in this particular sub-district, Hopwood, she talks about some of the things that her focus is on, especially as an unpaid member of the school board, which is what happens here in Illinois. We don't pay school board members, but she wants to take that unpaid position. Why?
Yes, it is unpaid. God put it on my heart. I know that sounds kind of strange, but I realize I really don't like what I'm seeing in the public school systems right now in District 186 or across the country, to be perfectly honest. But can only help 186 because I live in Springfield. So I decided that when God put it on my heart, and he tells you to do something, you move.
And she went on to tell me that she does have a lot of different issues she wants to focus on. That includes how tax dollars are spent, the curriculum that's being focused on. Here's more from Donna Hopwood, a Springfield District 186 school board candidate that was targeted by the Democrats in their website and their messaging that they put out statewide, focusing on maybe a few races across the state, but they targeted in on this particular subdistrict in Springfield. But what does Donna Hopwood have to say about all of the various issues that school board candidates are having to face?
There's a lot of things. The education levels, the graduation rates are really pathetic. I don't know if people understand the graduation rates in Springfield. At the high school level, Lanphier, I believe, is 55% graduation rate. Southeast is 67, I believe, and Springfield High is 81. That's just not acceptable. A lot of the kids are getting out of school. They cannot do their multiplication facts. They cannot read. We're in America. We're supposed to have the best education system around. We have everything at our fingertips. Why are our kids not graduating, and why can't they read when they get out of high school? In my whole campaign, I've not talked about anything with the gender ID. There's some things there. I'm not real happy with what I'm seeing. I'm a Bible believer. I'm a Christian. I'm a Bible believer. I have very strong beliefs and morals in that. So, I have a problem with some of the gender stuff I'm seeing and some of the things that are being taught in school. I want to see our kids succeed. Our kids are, like I said, they're our future, and they need to be able to be successful, well-rounded human beings when they get out of school. So they can go on and have a good, productive life. I want to see reading, writing, arithmetic, all that stuff come back. I want to see basic life skills. A lot of us, when we were in school, we learned how to balance checkbooks and make meals and change tires and things like that. And I understand people don't necessarily use checkbooks that much anymore, but you still have to know how to pay your rent and your phone bill and things like that. I would like to see the life skills. I want civics back. I want us to understand the Constitution and what it means, how important our country is and what it means to be an American. I want the Pledge of Allegiance definitely in school. I would like to see some counseling with parents. I want to see the parents get more involved. You know, the teachers, the parents, the school administration. I would like to see them be able to meet and work towards the kids' futures instead of, well, just like school board meetings. So if you guys ever tried to go to a school board meeting, try to get through the website to find where a school board meeting is and what time and what's on the agenda. Parents are not encouraged to come to school board meetings. And I think every single parent, my kids are grown and I'm going to go to school board meetings. Okay. So every single parent should be at a school board meeting at least once a month.
So again, hearing from Donna Hopwood, some of the major concerns she has. She also talked about how finances are a major issue, and the tax dollars are also a major issue. Here she is.
I think there needs to be some counseling and some accountability with, the parents need to come together with the teacher or the school. They need to work as a team for each one of these children. And I don't see that that's happening like it should. The violence is gotten out of control in some of the schools, and parents are scared to send their kids to school. And not all children can be homeschooled or go to private schools. So I really don't want to see the public schools go down the drain. The funding is there. It's there. As a matter of fact, our governor just allocated, from what I'm understanding, some more money towards the schools. But it seems that our school system is administrative heavy. The top of the whole thing is heavy, and the money's not funneling down to the children like it should. So I want to have a say-so over that. And because of that, I think I don't think they want me around because I'm speaking up, and I'm not a yes person on everything. I'm not going to go along with everything that the school board wants to do or the school system wants to do. I will speak up and voice my opinion and try to make a difference.
So again, Donna Hopwood, she is a candidate for Springfield District 186, and why I'm talking with her is because she was directly targeted by the Democratic Party of Illinois, a statewide party, when it comes to this local, nonpartisan election of school board candidates. So I asked her what that was like being targeted by the statewide party.
You know, I'm not sure where that came from. This website is funded by the Democrat Party. Okay, I'm not being backed by any political party. I'm on my own. I have some churches that are backing me. I have some other groups and some other friends that are helping me. I am not being funded or paid for by any Democratic or Republican party. I'm not a bought and paid for kind of person. Okay. I'm an American. I'm fighting for our kids, and I'm doing it because my heart tells me I have to do that. Okay. And I don't care. I don't want to be part of the system. I'm not part of the system. And I'm really proud of that fact. Okay. So I think I could use their own verbiage and say it's because I'm a woman, because the other two people that are, running against me in my sub-district are men. I could use that verbiage, but I don't think it's that. But some parties would do that. They would try to say it's a sexist thing. I really don't think it's that. I think it's just the fact that I'm wanting to step up. The other person or the other people running against me, they're not targeted at all. So, what does that say? I don't know. I'm maybe reading into some stuff, but, I'm willing to step up. I'm willing to fight for these kids and make a difference. And I think because of that, I have been labeled a conservative extremist. I don't know where that comes from. Why? Because I believe in the Bible. I believe in our country. I believe in the Pledge of Allegiance. I want the best for our kids. Does that make me a conservative extremist? Anybody that knows me knows that I am one of the kindest people. I have a big heart. I'm not a book burner. I'm not like that. So it's really not fair that I'm being targeted. I'm just trying to stand up for the kids. I'm trying to stand up for the kids. I want to help the parents have a voice again. The parents have been pushed out of the system. There was an Amendment 1 that just went through a while back that basically, if people would have read that in detail, it kind of takes the power away from the parents. And I think when people read that, they're going to be shocked what's going on. They're trying to take the power from the parents. Just the fact that the school board meetings are kind of hush-hushed. Hey, that tells me something right there. So the parents need the power. The parents need to be able to say what curriculum their kids are learning, what books they're reading. They need to have a say-so in their child's education.
So it's Donna Hopwood. She is a candidate for Springfield District 186 School Board. Chatted with her yesterday, and we'll see just how well she does after being targeted by the Democratic Party of Illinois. All right, got to take a break, and coming back, we'll talk about city elections. Not just Springfield, but also Chicago, and why these are so important. So stay tuned. Right now, though, it's 7:22 from Culver's West on Wabash.
It's time to apply at Culver's West on Wabash. We're hiring all positions, and did we mention free food? Only at Culver's West on Wabash.
This is Jim over at CBD Botanicals. So I keep hearing this phrase over the last few years, hot girl summer. And I've got a product for all of you ladies. And honestly, you dudes will like it too because it helps out with your appetite. A half a gummy from me works just fine. I have a lot of energy, but it also helps suppress my appetite. So as we go into our workout routines in order to get ready for the bikini bodies or the beach body, this is a great product for you that not only will get you upstairs and make you feel good about the day, but it'll also help you push away from the table and put that fork down. I also really enjoy a nice little cocktail at the end of the day. And I take the Mango Passion cannabis cocktail personally. We have it in 5 other flavors and they're awesome. But I like to mix that with a little bit of Sprite or even some lemonade or club soda, an ounce, nice little highball at the end of the day. And I'm feeling great. CBD Botanicals at 2538 South Cokie Mill Road at the corner of Cokie Mill and Isles next to Walgreens in the Fresenius building.
All right, so we got this construction clearance sale that Green Hyundai's got going on. Why? Because they're constructing, and it's pretty incredible what you guys got going on over there, Mike Quimby. Standing by from Green Hyundai to tell you all about it.
It is, Greg. It's a beautiful facility. It's so gigantic, Greg. I think it's way over my head, but we're going to get it done. I'm just the little old guy from Green Hyundai on the east side in front of J.C. Penney's for virtually all my life, and I love it. It's my home. So Hyundai came down and looked at this new building, and they said, well, we're going to have to get you more cars, and so they're going to give us between 50 and 100 more per allocation. That's going to give us almost 200 per allocation. We get 2 allocations a month. Wow, it's a lot of cars. So we're going to have to clean these cars up at the east side. That means we asked Hyundai for help. And we did, and they gave us help through Hyundai Motor Finance with 0%, which is, wow, in this society right now, it's really hard to believe we can cut your interest rate by 7 or 8%. That's a good deal. And it's going to be backed up by a 10-year, 100,000-mile warranty, America's Best warranty, and then Hyundai's thrown in 3 years' worth of free maintenance. So it is the construction clearance sales event. And it is going on the beautiful east side of Springfield, 1200 South Dirksen Parkway, the number 1 Hyundai dealer in the central United States, right here in your backyard. Green Hyundai's construction clearance sale event going on now, Greg.
Mike Quimby, Green Hyundai, have yourself a great day.
Greetings, hard-working Springfieldians. It's your friendly neighborhood Lotterback man here. And if you don't mind me saying, you have a silly job. I know it's silly because you're not working for me, the Lotterback man at Lotterback Tire on Wabash. Imagine going to cocktail parties and saying, I work for the biggest man in town. Well, we're hiring, looking for smart service people and talented techs. You know that job you have that makes you work on weekends? Not here, my friend. We want our folks to enjoy themselves on the weekends and then come in refreshed, ready to make Springfield cars run great. Fantastic benefits, a nice juicy paycheck, and lots of ways to advance. Why, we have fellas who have worked here for over a decade. It's a fine family business if I do say so myself, so leave that silly job and come work someplace less silly. Except, for the giant outside. Lotterback Tire on Wabash. Drive safely and come work for us now.
Hi, this is Judy. As a real Springfield resident and voter, I am disgusted with the latest false and misleading attack on City Treasurer candidate Bill McCarty. To make matters worse, his opponent is hiding behind a shady political action committee to do the dirty work. Do they really think Springfield voters are that dumb? Us voters know only city council members can raise taxes. Voters also know, as city budget director, Bill McCarty helped lead the effort to bring the city back from virtual bankruptcy after the Great Recession. Back then, the city's reserves got all the way down to just $2.6 million. Today, after Bill's 12 years on the job, those reserves are a record $60 million. That sure doesn't sound like someone wasting our money. Don't fall for slimy Chicago-style politics. Vote for the only candidate with the knowledge and experience to take the city treasurer's office to a whole new level. On April 4th, remember to bank on Bill McCarty for city treasurer.
Paid for by Citizens for McCarty.
Less frustration, more vacation. Book a nonstop flight from Springfield's Abraham Lincoln Capital Airport, SPI to Fort Myers, Punta Gorda at Allegiant.com and experience the sun, fun, and relaxation of Southwest Florida. Find low fares and save big by bundling at Allegiant.com. Fly from SPI and spend more time enjoying vacation. Book your flight from SPI at Allegiant.com. Fly local. Fly SPI. Take the easy way out.
Take the easy way out. No taxes. No tax on Max Life mattresses. No tax on Arctic Breeze mattresses. No tax on all Bemco mattress sets. All month long, Just Beds will pay your sales tax on the entire Bemco product line in the store, even sale items. That Bemco mattress set you want, no tax. Max Life, Chatham & Wells, Arctic Breeze, or Arctic Life mattress, no tax. All Bemco, all month, no tax. As always, free delivery, setup, and haul away. See the Yawn Exterminators at Just Beds on Montvale in Springfield.
Just Beds. To protect his family from disaster, Steve used his camera phone.
Done.
By taking pictures of his important documents, Steve can always have them stored online. Learn more simple disaster prep tips at ready.gov. A message from FEMA and the Ad Council.
Head on over to WMAY.com and sound off on the daily poll where it focuses in on the Springfield municipal elections and particularly the treasurer's race. Where you stand on that? Lisa Badger, Colleen Redpath-Fager, or Bill McCarty. Bill McCarty is taking the lead there. Again, go to WMAY.com/poll and vote today. Was earlier split between Colleen Redpath-Fager and Bill McCarty, but so far this morning, McCarty taking that lead. Again, WMAY.com/poll.
Springfield's Morning News with Greg Bishop. Listen on demand at WMAY.com. 92.7 WMAY. Springfield's News and Talk.
You know, we just got done with the November election in November, right? Still kind of picking up the pieces from all of that as the new Congress is seated and the new General Assembly is seated, and they're throwing all kinds of bills at the wall, seeing what sticks. But we now have, just days away, the municipal consolidated elections across the state of Illinois. Everything from park board to school board to library board, and even what's going on with your village or your municipality. Here in Springfield, we've got a pretty contentious race between two candidates. You got the incumbent, Jim Langfelder, and the opponent, Treasurer Misty Busher. Plus, you've got several contested wards seats in Springfield. And all across the state, you've got these municipal elections. But a lot of eyes are on what's going on in Chicago with Paul Vallis and Brandon Johnson, the two candidates that carried over from the primary election that happened in late February, where there were 9 different candidates. And incumbent Lori Lightfoot did not succeed there. So she's no longer going to be mayor come the inauguration for whoever is going to take the cake April 4th. And joining us right now is somebody who is formerly of the Chicago City Council, Bob Fioretti. He joins us to kind of give us a bit of analysis on what's going on here and maybe help bridge the divide as to why we down here really should be looking at what's going on in the city of Chicago. Bob, thanks for taking time with us this morning on WMAY. I guess just tell us where we're at right now with this race in Chicago.
Well, I think it's going to be a nail biter, Greg. Thanks for having me on this morning. The candidates are raising and spending money like we've never seen in a runoff election. Over $8 million has been raised between the candidates, most of it on the Paul Vallis side. But I always said right after that election to folks, it's going to be awfully close, despite the difference that was between the two candidates for the runoff. Brandon Johnson has a lot of teacher union support, ASME, SEIU, and the national and local teachers unions who can turn out the workers. Paul Vallis has to have door knockers, and he's got to find them quickly and pay him the money that's necessary to knock on those doors on a daily basis here. It is, wherever I go, people are concerned. Crime is still the number one issue, but economic opportunities and what we need to do to get out of the economic financial problems that the city of Chicago has becomes a close second. And, of course, education and making sure that our kids get a good education here, a good public education, and Paul Vallis is a school choice person. He's pushing school choice, so it's boiling down to being a very close race, and it may not be decided on election night. It will depend upon what happens with the mail-in votes at that stage. So that's how close it is.
Well, and I think it's interesting, too, you raise something that's not the norm across the rest of the states, and that is that the city of Chicago does centrally control the city's school district. We don't have that in the rest of the state, where the mayor really does have a lot of control over that city's school district. So that adds a totally different element here, but also totally different interests that can get involved. Very powerful school teacher union interests can get involved here.
And the Chicago Teachers Union has grown in strength. It's probably one of the more aggressive and political and money-raising unions in the country. They have a political agenda that they're asserting rather than just education. And so the fight is on here for what type of school system we have. And in the next 2 years, we're going to be a transition here to an elected school board, and it'll be the largest elected school board in the nation with 23 members. So there's a lot to be concerned about in this election. It'll be the last time the mayor has control over that school board.
Bob Fioretti with us. He's a former Chicago alderman and talking about the significance and the different ins and outs of what's going to happen in the next few days with the Chicago mayoral election between Paul Vallas and Brandon Johnson. Bob, why should people down here care about Chicago's election next week?
Well, I think we are the economic engine for the state, for the region. We have the best transportation access from air, sea, rail here in Chicago that goes all the way across. Just yesterday, I received in the mail from the University of Illinois Springfield an invite to go to the St. Louis Cards Chicago Cubs game in July at Wrigley Field. So, there is an interest that people want to maintain our ties across the state, and granted the historical values that we have, and the land of Lincoln and everything starts in Springfield and the old state capitol, and what we see to Lincoln's house is just part of the tourism, and here we have our great museums, parks, restaurants, schools, sports teams that everybody should come up and see and spend some time here in Chicago and spend their money up here.
Well, and obviously some people want to make sure that it's safe to go, and whoever's controlling the city could impact that safety and the economic activity, and a lot of big businesses doing business out of Chicago, and that trickles down to the rest of the state. So it's obviously something that a lot of people are interested in, and we may have to connect after the election, Bob, just so we can kind of get your analysis on what happens next, depending on if it's Vallas or depending on if it's Johnson who takes the reins of the Windy City. Greatly appreciate your time and your insight, and we'll definitely talk again soon, all right?
Looking forward to it, Greg. Thank you.
It is Springfield's Morning News on 92.7 WMAY, Springfield's News and Talk. And coming up, we'll talk about the YMCA, what they've got going on. So stay tuned right now, 7:35, and a check of headlines.
92.7 WMAY.
Here are the three big things you need to know.
I'm Don Howard. Our top story, the Senate is preparing to vote to repeal the 2002 grant of authority for the March 2003 invasion of Iraq. The measure would end more than 20 years of authorization for U.S. presidents to use force in that country and return those war powers to Congress. The repeal is not expected to affect any current troop deployments.
WMAY News, brought to you by The Inn at 835. Let The Inn at 835 handle your next business or social gathering with style.
What are you hungry for?
Obed and Isaac sounds good.
They're always busy.
Yeah, they are. It's because the food is great. The selection of craft beer is amazing, and it's downtown. It couldn't be at a better location.
What if we have to wait?
We'll put in our name, give them our number to text us when our table is ready, and then go next door to the 7th Street Cidery and start there.
I like the way you think. They serve meads too, right?
Yeah, they do. You can get your mead, and I'll start with a flight of cider. They're constantly getting new ciders on tap all the time.
What if Obed's isn't busy and they seat us right away?
The cidery doesn't close till 11, so we can just finish the night there.
You've got this all figured out, don't you?
Yeah, I do. You should see my reward points that I've built up.
So, you're buying, right?
I didn't say that.
That's what I heard.
No, you didn't.
Obed and Isaac's Microbrewery, located in downtown Springfield, right next door to the 7th Street Cidery. Enjoy.
X with a double X battery. Generations of power.
You can jumpstart your car with a device you can hold in your hand. I'm Laurie from Rex Battery, and if you find yourself with a dead battery, the NOCO Genius Boost is all you need. You don't have to wait for a friend to show up, call a tow truck, or hope a stranger has jumper cables. If you have the NOCO Genius Boost, you have the charge you need to get your car going again. One charge can get you as many as 20 dumps. Rex Battery always carries the latest technology, and these small devices pack big power, enough oomph to start your cars, trucks, and even boats. They even have USB ports so you can get your phone powered up if you're stranded. The NOCO Genius Boost. Pick up one today at Rex Battery, Clear Lake, just west of Dirksen.
Rex with a double X battery. Generations of power.
Miss an interview? Catch the podcast whenever, wherever. 92.7 WMAY is on demand at WMAY.com.
Springfield's dependable 5-day forecast on WMAY. Mostly sunny today with a high near 51, low around 33. Tomorrow, mostly sunny with a high near 63. Showers tomorrow night with a low around 55. Friday, rain likely with a high near 68. Saturday, mostly sunny with a high near 48. Sunday, sunny with a high near 62. And Monday, a chance of rain, high near 69 degrees. I'm Don Howard, 92.7 WMAY.
Just want to take a minute to talk to you about BLH Computers. You can get a brand new updated laptop from BLH Computers at their locations in Springfield, Jacksonville, or Taylorville. We are just about 2 weeks away from tax day, and you might be getting some money back this year. And how about you set aside some funds to get yourself an updated computer? It doesn't matter if you're upgrading, replacing an old machine. If it's coming from BLH Computers, it's going to be coming with that exclusive BLH guarantee, a guarantee that covers all desktops, all laptops sold at BLH Computers. Includes no labor charges to fix a problem, and if there does need to be a fix and that part is in stock, it is absolutely free to you. Yes, no cost. BLH Computers is one of the largest electronics recycler in our region, so you can take those old electronics to BLH Computers for safe recycling. Make sure you clear off that desk because there's going to be many more tech seasons to come. Upgrade that computer with the help of BLH Computers in Springfield, Jacksonville, and Taylorville on Facebook and online. BLHcomputers.com.
Have you been following how the campaign for Springfield City Treasurer has a clear difference in candidate experience?
I have been, and have been very impressed by the current Deputy Treasurer, Colleen Redpath-Feger. She's actually been investing the city's funds with a proven successful track record of positive returns for us taxpayers.
You can't say the same for Bill McCarty. As budget director, his experience has been scheming to tax and spend more of our hard-earned tax dollars.
Not to mention that under McCarty's leadership as budget director, the city has raised taxes and fees multiple times during the last 2 administrations.
We can't afford a tax and spender like Bill McCarty in the city treasurer's office.
Agreed. That's why I'm voting for Colleen Redpath-Feger. Her experience working in the city treasurer's office will guaranteed continue positive returns for all of Springfield.
Learn more before you vote on April 4th.
This message is paid for and approved by Citizens for New Leadership.
Order yourself from the new Head West in-store kiosks, and you get a free brownie. Free brownie!
I don't want the same old thing. I got a craving for a Head West brownie today. Yeah!
Springfield's Morning News with Greg Bishop, broadcasting from the Fly SPI Studios. Take the easy way out. 92.7 WMAY. Springfield's News and Talk.
There is always very exciting stuff going on over at the Springfield YMCA, and to join us to talk more about more excitement that they've got going on, Lou Bart with YMCA here in Springfield. Lou, thanks for taking time, and holy cow, we've got a lot to tackle because you guys always are a buzz of activity. I guess just lay it out there. Of course, we'll talk about a big thing that's coming up that's really exciting. Kids and parents alike are going to be totally stoked about it. And a big announcement I want to share with Lou coming up here. But talk about summer camp, because believe it or not, that's just around the corner.
Oh, yeah. And summer camp registration is on right now. We've got summer camps every week, 6 different locations across the area. In our clubs, and then out at our lake camp, which is a traditional camp right on the lakes and peninsula out near Chatham. So we've got just one example is a camp about all about bugs. And so they'll teach you about bugs. There's a camp about fishing. They're going to go through Fish of Illinois. They're going to teach kids how to fish. There's history camps, explorer camps, so a lot going on this summer at camp. So sign up.
Do these fill up?
They do fill up.
Okay.
And the popular weeks fill up really fast.
Sure.
So we've already gotten big response for it. Another, so sign up camp. All of it can be found Springfield YMCA.org. This Sunday, a really fun thing. Again, another kind of traditional family fun thing. We're having the traditional Easter egg hunt. And, of course, there's the obligatory, terrorizing the kids pick with the Easter bunny. But to calm them, we've got the Easter egg hunt.
You're going to jazz them up with all the candy.
Yeah.
And then, you bring out this big, fluffy Easter bunny guy.
Yeah, that one's kind of like, that's from last year. That's a real pic of one of our kids with it.
That looks like a possum.
Yeah, isn't it? So very few, even the ones that don't cry kind of sit at the edge.
Can the parents get a terrified picture with it?
Sure, you can get parents in there. So Easter egg hunt, it's a great atmosphere for that. Yeah. So it looks like the weather will be good. Next week, big thing. On Thursday, April the 6th, we are having our grand opening for our brand new Friendly Fields soccer fields out at Soccer Complex, out at the YMCA, the West YMCA, Carasota's YMCA on Isles. Starts at 3 p.m. We're going to have games for kids. There's going to be a lot of prizes, awards. The first 50 kids get this, Greg, a brand new
look at
commemorative soccer bag.
Whoa!
For so first 50 kids get that.
I love it. Lou comes here with visuals, and he's set, man. So the YMCA, hold that up again. I mean, that's a nice tote.
Yeah, it is, isn't it?
That's you can put
it's got the little opening day
socks in there. You can put all kind. You can even put shoes in there if you wanted to. That's great.
It's good tote for the kids. There'll be games. We've got. Shields has provided a lot of prizes. Our partner Physiotherapy in Springfield, they are going to do this game with this laser tag things, and they're going to give one of those away. And that's like a $400 value. So we're thrilled. We call it, it's named Friendly Fields because Friendly Chevrolet has sponsored the fields. They've been a great partner of us, so appreciate that. Lastly, but not leastly, talk about a brand new event. We're going to launch it tomorrow.
Hold on. All right, just so we're teasing this because this is going to be a really big thing that's going to be exciting for not just kids but for parents, and it's all part of the YMCA's offerings they've got going on. But just to remind you, summer camp, tons of summer camp activities, different themes. If you got kids that are getting ready to, get out there this summer, get them into one of these summer camps. And you can find all the different themes. We'll get you the website here in a moment. But also you've got the soccer camp that's opening with the Friendly Fields. So make sure you take part in that and get some of those goodies that they're offering up with the YMCA.
And I will say real quick about the soccer fields opening. Yep. So they actually start, and we've got full soccer roster.
Wow.
Biggest in a long time. Full soccer roster. The games start next Friday, Saturday.
Wow.
But the opening is Thursday, and it's all just about fun. You don't have to play soccer. You don't have to be on one of our teams. Come out, bring the kids from 3 to 5. It's going to be a lot of fun next Thursday.
And don't forget, Sunday, you've got the traditional Easter egg hunt that's going to be happening. It's got everything you need, including the big stuffed bunny that's going to be there to get those great family pics. All right, Lou, here we go. All right, go ahead and break it out for us. This is really cool, really exciting. What do we got going on?
Yeah, so June 10th, brand new event for Springfield, brand new event for the Y. It's called Y Ninja. And actually, we just found out yesterday, it's actually Blue Cross Blue Shield Y Ninja.
Oh, wow, great.
Blue Cross Blue Shield is great to be the title sponsor, great partner for us. This is going to be out at the West YMCA on our grounds there. It's about a 15 obstacle course, along with a festival out there. So we're going to have music, food, but blow-up obstacles, built obstacles, a lot of sponsors. And fun thing about this is that it's, so again, Saturday, June 10th. Registration will open up this weekend for Blue Cross Blue Shield Y Ninja. It's a really unique thing for us also, too, because it's something we're going to have kids timed races by ages in the morning. Then we're going to have one parent, one kid race. Then adults and teams. So a lot of companies want to have teams together, and then it's going to be an all kind of run through the obstacle course in the last hour of it. So something's not been done around here, but we're looking forward to a lot of interest, a lot of sponsors. So
it's going to be huge.
Yeah,
and this is the inaugural. Do you think that this could turn into an annual event?
Yeah, we hope so, too.
Yeah.
We really do. So it replaces
incredible.
a couple other things that we used to do, but triathlon for kids. But this is more inclusive. Everybody can run this. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Well, and I love the fact that you have, the ability for parent and kid teams.
Yes.
Right? So that's gonna force them, even though they probably don't talk at dinner, they're gonna have to talk in order to get through this course. So I think
if you've got a mom
fantastic.
and dad and two kids, you can have mom and one kid and dad and the other, and compete against each other. It's going to be timed. There'll be prizes for first, second places in all the categories. The great thing is all of this, the proceeds for this will go to our Strong Kids Funds, which helps at-risk, underprivileged kids, underserved kids in the community have a Y experience, whether that's going to camp, being part of one of our sports teams, but that's a great thing about it.
Lou Bartz with the YMCA. If people need information on all of this, the summer camps, the Easter egg hunt, the Y Ninja event, what's the website people can go to?
It's springfieldymca.org.
All right, springfieldymca.org. It's that simple. Lou, thank you so much.
Thanks, Greg.
You got a whole list of activities. It's fantastic. Good stuff. It is Springfield's Morning News on 92.7 WMAY. Springfield's News and Talk, now at 7:48 from Culver's West on Wabash. Springfield, you guys have been answering all kinds of trivia questions, and if you got that trivia question right, then you are going to win yourself a $75 rebate from Fly SPI. And this week's winner, answering the trivia question right, which was what aircraft did aviation enthusiast and performer Charlie Wells fly during his many Midwestern air shows? It was a Pitts Special. So Bill Alexander of New Berlin, you answered that correctly. You get the $75 rebate for Fly SPI from Abraham Lincoln Capital Airport's Bill Alexander. All right, so he answered that question right, was entered into the pool, and we drew his name. So Bill Alexander of New Berlin, be sure to contact the radio station. We'll get you hooked up with that $75 rebate. Meanwhile, head over to WMAY.com/fly, and don't forget, we're still doing this. And the new trivia question this week, how long in feet is runway 422 at Abraham Lincoln Capital Airport? It's the airport's longest runway. So you can go and answer that trivia question. If you get it correct, you will be entered to win a $75 rebate with Abraham Lincoln Capital Airport.
It's time to apply at Culver's West on Wabash. We're hiring all positions, and did we mention free food? Only at Culver's West on Wabash.
Greetings, hard-working Springfieldians. It's your friendly neighborhood Lauterbach man here. And if you don't mind me saying, you have a silly job. I know it's silly because you're not working for me, the Lauterbach man at Lauterbach Tire on Wabash. Imagine going to cocktail parties and saying, I work for the biggest man in town. Well, we're hiring, looking for smart service people and talented techs. You know that job you have that makes you work on weekends? Not here, my friend. We want our folks to enjoy themselves on the weekends and then come in refreshed, ready to make Springfield cars run great. Fantastic benefits, a nice juicy paycheck, and lots of ways to advance. Why, we have fellas who have worked here for over a decade. It's a fine family business if I do say so myself, so leave that silly job and come work someplace less silly. Except, for the giant outside. Lauterbach Tire on Wabash. Drive safely and come work for us now.
I'm Mayor Jim Langfelder. Since I was elected, the safety of our community is a top priority. As mayor, we've hired 42 police officers last year, the most in 15 years. We implemented ShotSpotter and other technology, aiding in the reduction of violent crime by 40%. As mayor, the Springfield Fire Department achieved Class 1 certification, purchased 9 new fire engines and trucks, and we're building new fire stations. Springfield deserves the best. That's why I'm asking for your vote, Jim Langfelder for mayor on Tuesday, April 4th. Paid for by Citizens for Jim Langfelder.
That to-do list you have needs one more thing. Chill. It's an easy thing to do. Just crack open an ice-cold Coors Light and chill. Take the afternoon off and binge watch anything. Go to happy hour and stay for a couple hours. Who's counting anyways? Or hang out with just your dog, because you've had enough human interaction this week. Whatever you do it with a Coors Light. Mountain Cold Refreshment made to chill. 2020 Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado. Celebrate responsibly.
Love your mattress now? Wait till you try it on an adjustable base from Verlo. With just the touch of a button, you can elevate your head and kick up your feet to the most comfortable position imaginable for watching TV, reading, lounging, or whatever. And when you're ready, the adjustable base will turn your mattress back into a really, really comfortable bed. So you get a Verlo night's sleep. Good night.
The Verlo Mattress Mismatch sale is ending soon, so you better hurry. Mismatch on the outside. Same Verlo long-lasting craftsmanship on the inside that's backed by our lifetime comfort guarantee. Just put a sheet on it, and the only difference you'll notice is how much you saved. Yep, Mismatch is ending soon. So hurry in now for unbeatable values during the Verlo Mattress Mismatch. It's our biggest sale of the year.
Anxiety. There's plenty of it to go around for just about everyone these days, but the question is, how are you dealing with it? Anxiety can make things difficult. If you find yourself reaching for drugs or alcohol as the solution, chances are your anxiety has gotten out of control. It's time to pick up the phone and call Gateway Foundation. You'll talk with someone who holds the strictest confidentiality so that you can open up and learn about treatment options. Our team of professional counselors, therapists, psychiatrists, and physicians have a long history of helping people like you get back on track. During the healing process, you'll find that there is nothing to be ashamed of. Calling Gateway Foundation is that important first step towards getting away from the self-medication of alcohol and other substances and on the road towards safe, rewarding, and sustainable recovery. Call Gateway Foundation at 877-505-HOPE for a free, private, confidential screening. Gateway Foundation, addiction medicine saving lives.
If you own a small business, you've probably been hearing a lot about the ERC, how it's worth up to $26,000 per employee, how easy it is. You know the spiel. So why am I still talking to you about it now? Because many of you still haven't filed a claim, but Innovation Refunds can help you close the book on this thing. They're backed by one of those big CPA firms the corporations use, so they can determine once and for all if your business qualifies. And it's free to find out. Go to innovationrefunds.com. That's innovationrefunds.com.
Imagine buying a pair of sneakers and getting a soothing, gentle foot massage like you'd get during a relaxing pedicure just by walking. Skechers' new Massage Fit sneakers. Because Skechers, the comfort technology company, has designed a unique innovation that makes it feel like you're pampering your feet with a gentle massage in every step. The secret is Skechers' new patented wave technology on the sole that gently massages your feet while you're walking around. Find them for men and women at a Skechers store, Skechers.com, or wherever stylish footwear is sold.
Take Springfield's morning news with Greg Bishop everywhere with a free WMAY mobile app. 92.7 WMAY, Springfield's news and talk.
Well, latest census data out shows that Cook County saw the second largest U.S. population decline over the year. And 92 of 102 counties in Illinois lost residents from July 2021 to July of last year. And Governor J.B. Pritzker seems to just not believe that Illinois is losing population. So we talked a bit about population in the past, and as much as Illinois, we've for 9 years straight seen estimated population losses year after year after year. Seems to be accelerating, where 1 year, 9 years ago, was like 10,000 people fewer than the year before, and then it was like 40,000 people the year after that, fewer than the year before, and then just kept getting larger and larger to where even the estimated population decline was like 500,000 people. But then we get to 2020 and Illinois lost on the actual documentation from the census 18,000 people or so. That was enough to lose a seat in Congress, right? Because we all have members of Congress represent us based on our population. And then the states split up by the state legislature. They do their gerrymandering in Illinois, and you get the political maps that way. But we did lose a seat in Congress. There was speculation we could have lost 2 seats in Congress. But of course, with the 2020 COVID pandemic and the census counts, and that was all thrown into a big wild tailspin, and there were all kinds of questions about how this is going to properly be counted. So we have all of these data sets that keep coming out. It's not just the census data. It's IRS migration data showing that people are leaving the state of Illinois. It's even moving van company data that's showing people are moving out of the state of Illinois. And most recently, you've got the U.S. Census data releasing their county estimates, and 92 of 102 counties lost residents from July 2021 to July of last year. Meaning, with Cook County losing the second most residents of all counties after LA County in the country, and then you've got 92 of 102 counties that lost population from the year before. Obviously, Illinois is losing population. I asked Governor J.B. Pritzker if he still believes that Illinois is losing population or not, and here's what he had to say about the idea of population decline in the state of Illinois when it comes to whether or not we're actually experiencing that.
Shrinking. That's not census data, just to be clear, right? A census is done. Yeah, fair enough. But we did not lose population, as you saw when the Census Bureau data came through for the 2020 census. We actually gained population. Especially as they looked more closely after the initial announcements at what happened state to state. So I'm pleased about that. I think the American Community Survey data is a little more suspect, as you know, and clearly miscounted Illinois population over the years leading up to the actual counting of people during the census, and it continues to be inaccurate in its count.
Have you ever heard back on the census, the request that you guys put in? Because they haven't changed the number. We lost a congressperson in 2020.
Yeah, they do. That is something every 10 years they do the same thing, right? They come out with the initial number. That's what they use. Partly that's because otherwise every state's reapportionment would be moved. And so they just set the number and leave it there. But we all know from the data that came out after that we gained population.
We have time for one more guy.
So Governor J.B. Pritzker is still saying that Illinois is growing despite numbers showing otherwise. Stay tuned.
From the Fly SPI studios, take the easy way out. WMAY FM, Taylorville, Springfield's News and Talk is 92.7 WMAY.
Here's the latest from ABC News. I'm Emily. A grim wait for word after an Army helicopter crash in Kentucky last night. 2 choppers down, with authorities only saying several casualties.
Kentucky State Police received the call about 10 p.m. last night about 2 Black Hawk helicopters crashing. That is when officials discovered debris in a field. There are no reports of damage to residential homes, but we are told that residents were asked to leave if they were within that debris field. Now, the command has said they are focused on caring for service members and their families. The U.S. military and Kentucky State Police are leading this investigation.
ABC's Jacqueline Lee on the scene. Pope Francis tweeting he's touched by the many messages received as he remains hospitalized in Rome with a respiratory infection. The Vatican says His Holiness rested well during the night, his clinical picture is progressively improving, and that he had breakfast, read some papers, and is working this morning after receiving communion. The pontiff is 86 years old and already had a part of a lung removed decades ago as a young man.
Terrifying. My grandpa's 90, so totally understand the fragility of life. But hope he gets better. And I mean, I'm sure Vatican City is waiting right back for him. So yeah, hope he gets better soon.
American tourist Claudia Penuelis at the Vatican. An American reporter for the Wall Street Journal has been arrested in Russia accused of spying. ABC's Patrick Revel has the story from the foreign desk.
The Wall Street Journal has vehemently denied the Russian allegations, demanding Gershkovich's immediate release, calling him their trusted reporter and saying they stand in solidarity with him and his family. Gershkovich faces up to 20 years in prison if convicted. It's the first time Russia has arrested a US reporter since the Cold War. The Kremlin in recent years has seized several Americans as bargaining chips, including basketball star Brittany Griner. Patrick Reevell, ABC News at the Foreign Desk.
And it's opening day for baseball. All 30 teams across the country will be in action. New rules also in effect. This is ABC News.
Without the ones like you, who work tirelessly to keep things running, everything would suddenly stop. Hospitals, factories, schools, and power plants, they all depend on you. No matter the weather, emergency, or time of day, you're the ones who get it done. At Grainger, we're here for you with professional-grade industrial supplies. Count on real-time product availability and fast delivery. Call, clickgrainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
If you own a small business, you've probably been hearing a lot about the ERC, how it's worth up to $26,000 per employee, how easy it is. You know the spiel. So why am I still talking to you about it now? Because many of you still haven't filed a claim, but Innovation Refunds can help you close the book on this thing. They're backed by one of those big CPA firms the corporations use, so they can determine once and for all if your business qualifies. And it's free to find out. Go to innovationrefunds.com. That's innovationrefunds.com.
All right, it is Springfield's Morning News. I'm Greg Bishop on WMAY. We've got another hour left. We'll hear from Crime Stoppers coming up next hour, late in the hour. Also, I think we might also talk about how you can get rid of some of your disposables, things that you can't just throw away. You know, those toxic things like chemicals and stuff. So we'll get some information out about that. But I do want to hear from you about population in Illinois. And in particular, get your reaction to Governor J.B. Pritzker seeming to deny that Illinois is shrinking when every indicator shows the state is losing population. So we'll revisit that coming up next year with your phone calls at 217-629-7970. It's now 8:03 on WMAY.
News.
Weather.
92.7 WMAY. Springfield's News and Talk.
I'm Don Howard. Our top story, the closure of Jefferson and Madison Streets at the 10th Street Railroad tracks next Wednesday for Springfield's rail consolidation project will last up to 14 months while a new underpass is being built. Cook and South Grand will have separate closures of around 10 days each starting in late spring for bridge work associated with the project, while other closures at Monroe and Washington will get underway this summer. You can learn more about the project at an open house from 4 to 7 p.m. today at the BOS Center. Springfield's Public Library will launch a new service this summer that will give patrons hands-on experience working with everything from sewing and quilting to using high-tech equipment like virtual reality goggles and 3D printers. She says it's a first-of-its-kind tech and textile lab in Springfield. Called the Collaboratory, it will begin with classes this summer, followed by children's programs and open hours for the public later in the fall. United Airlines has decided to end its daily service between Abraham Lincoln Capital Airport and Chicago's O'Hare beginning in June due to a pilot shortage. American Airlines recently ended its service between Springfield and Dallas, although American will be offering twice-daily flights between Springfield and O'Hare. U.S. Senators Dick Durbin and Tammy Duckworth and Congresswoman Nikki Budzinski say they've asked United to rethink the move, but did not offer any indication that the airline will do so. All three say they will look for other ways to address the travel needs of Central Illinoisans. Conn's Hospitality Group says it will close Lil Willie's Barbecue on South Grand Avenue West on Friday after 2.5 years in business. But the company says it will evolve the Lil Willie's concept into a new full-service Southern-style restaurant at Vinegar Hill Mall in space the company is refurbishing. Conn's Hospitality Group says the new restaurant will offer indoor and outdoor dining, and all staff will have the opportunity to be involved in the new venture. A proposed opening date has not been announced. Springfield's dependable 5-day forecast is next on WMAY.
News sponsored by Just Beds. A great night's sleep starts with a visit to the yawn exterminators at Just Beds. Online at justbedsinc.com.
Nobody wants to think about their furnace going out this time of year, but if it does happen, you want service quickly and affordably, which is why a service agreement with MB Heating and Cooling is such a good idea. For one thing, regular furnace maintenance means it's much less likely that your furnace is going to have problems. Your equipment will last longer. Your utility bills could be lower, and it protects your investment in your HVAC system. But with a service agreement from MB Heating and Cooling, there's extra protection. For example, the basic silver plan gives you 2 performance tune-ups a year. There is 24-hour priority service should you need it. You get energy-saving cleanings, and if you do have to have that service, again, less likely with the regular maintenance, but when it does happen, you get a 20% discount on your service invoice. You get all this for just $24.95 per month. Peace of mind at a reasonable price. To sign up for an MB service agreement, visit mb-heating.com or call 217-544-HEAT, 544-4328.
This is Rob Zavitka, Director of Sales and Business Development Manager for Midwest Family Springfield. Are you the one person I'm looking for to help further build our media sales team at Midwest Family Springfield? We are the premier multimedia marketing company that no other company compares to in the Springfield area. It's really simple. I need one sales leader, a brand ambassador whose talent and team focus will thrive working with Midwest Family. Are you passionate, self-motivated, goal-oriented, and highly competitive? Are you an overachiever, a problem solver with great communication skills? Do you have the skill set for today's digital marketing? And do you believe in growing lasting partnerships? If so, apply online today at MidwestFamilySPI.com and click on the Careers tab. At Midwest Family Springfield, you'll be challenged, you'll be trained, and you'll have access to world-class tools like HubSpot CRM. Are you the one I'm looking for? If so, apply online today at MidwestFamilySPI.com and click on the Careers tab. Midwest Family is an equal opportunity employer.
Get today's headlines delivered to your inbox every morning. Subscribe now at WMAY.com. 92.7 WMAY. Springfield's News and Talk.
Springfield's dependable 5-day forecast on WMAY. Sunny skies today, high near 64. Showers tonight with low around 55. Tomorrow, a chance of showers and thunderstorms. Some of the storms could be severe with a high near 69, low around 36. Saturday, mostly sunny, breezy, and cooler with a high near 47. Sunday, sunny and breezy with a high near 62. And Monday, a chance of rain with a high near 69. I'm Don Howard, 92.7 WMAY.
Hi, this is Judy. As a real Springfield resident and voter, I am disgusted with the latest false and misleading attack on City Treasurer candidate Bill McCarty. To make matters worse, his opponent is hiding behind a shady political action committee to do the dirty work. Do they really think Springfield voters are that dumb? Us voters know only city council members can raise taxes. Voters also know, as city budget director, Bill McCarty helped lead the effort to bring the city back from virtual bankruptcy after the Great Recession. Back then, the city's reserves got all the way down to just $2.6 million. Today, after Bill's 12 years on the job, those reserves are a record $60 million. That sure doesn't sound like someone wasting our money. Don't fall for slimy Chicago-style politics. Vote for the only candidate with the knowledge and experience to take the city treasurer's office to a whole new level. On April 4th, remember to bank on Bill McCarty for city treasurer.
Paid for by Citizens for McCarty.
It's a spring sell down. Green Hyundai has more inventory than any other dealer in Springfield. It's time to sell down all this inventory so we can make room at our all-new Hyundai store coming soon on Stanford Avenue.
That's right, a new Hyundai. A smart buy with America's best warranty, 10-year, 100,000 miles, and all that tech that you pay extra for on cars that cost thousands and thousands more. Hey, that's all standard on a new Hyundai.
Spring sell down with 0% available or rebates up to $2,000 on select models with approved credit. New and used both on Dirksen Parkway. The #1 Hyundai dealer in the central United States. That's in a 13-state area right here in little old Spring.
Prepare yourself and your family for the summer vacation of a lifetime now with a smart automobile purchase. A new Hyundai from Green Hyundai, 1200 South Dirksen Parkway, Springfield, Illinois.
Springfield's Morning News with Greg Bishop, broadcasting from the Fly SPI Studios. Take the easy way out. 92.7 WMAY. Springfield's News and Talk.
I got to put the microphone on. Not sure what's going on with YouTube, but apparently there's some kind of delay in processing videos. Just to kind of give you guys a little bit of behind the scenes here. Of course, I produce the show, I schedule the guests, I run my own board, I answer my own phones, I slice and dice and edit video, and I get it ready to air, not just audio, but video as well. And we bring it all to you on this wonderful thing called the internet, where we stream at Facebook, WMAY News, but also Facebook Bishop On Air. We stream on Bishop On Air Twitter, and we stream on YouTube Bishop On Air. But afterwards, I each segment, and practically right after the segment airs, I clip out that segment. If it's an interview, if it's a caller segment, if it's a review of news happenings, I instantly upload that to YouTube. And right now I've got probably 5 different segments that are in the queue of YouTube processing them. Segments that finished uploading 2 hours ago. So I don't know what's going on there. Hopefully they get that figured out. But I did do a Twitter search. It's always fascinating to... if there's a social media outage somewhere, like, Facebook down, you go to Twitter and you check hashtag Facebook down. It's all over the place. Obviously, there's a problem with Facebook. So I did go and search YouTube for YouTube processing, and there is on Twitter multiple messages from people all over the world saying there's something going on with YouTube's processing. However, I think the live stream for YouTube is still working. Is that right? Let me see here. I'm just going to go to some of the most recent. Gosh, there's so many chats on the live stream. It must be working, right? I mean, if you guys are chatting it up on the live stream on YouTube, then it must be working. So I guess it's good that it's going out on YouTube, of course. But listen, this is radio primarily. We're on the air, 92.7 FM in Springfield, but we also are streaming, not just online through WMAY.com, but hey, multimedia is where it's at, so I bring it to it, and I make it happen here. YouTube having some problem processing. I don't know what's going on in their end, but we'll get some certainty, and those clips of various segments will obviously be up here soon. Let's go to a quick phone call before we review some of what Governor J.B. Pritzker had to say about the state's population, how he seems to deny that the state's shrinking. 217-629-7970. Good morning. You're on WMAY.
Yeah, I've been watching you all morning on YouTube. It's working great. Everything else, who knows? The fun part is being able to pause you when I need to go do something else and then come back and push the button and watch it go again.
There you go.
And then I could skip commercials. It is interesting that we it is interesting that our government screened for 2 years. Follow the science. Follow the scientists. Follow the people who know what they're doing. Look at the statistics.
Follow the data and the science.
Follow the data.
Yeah.
And now we are back to that point that we started at, where they're saying, "Oh no, the scientists are wrong. The data's all wrong. Everything's wrong." No. They don't follow science.
Yeah.
And they wonder why we don't trust them.
Well, and it's incredible because, I mean, the governor, he's reverting back to something that was reported after the state lost a seat in Congress. And it was merely a survey result indicating that the census says they miscounted Illinois and several other states. And in Illinois, it was close to 2%. So Democrats just took that number. They're like, oh, look, we're actually at 13 million people rather than the 12.6, 12.7 that the U.S. Census says we dropped to. So they messaged the census, put a letter together, and I've talked to Senator Durbin last summer. He said they didn't hear back. I asked the governor yesterday. He didn't address that letter that they sent the census trying to get the number corrected, they said, but obviously all the indicators are we are losing population. It's not just the 2020 census. It's the IRS migration data that shows we're losing population. And it's not just that we're losing population from the migration data. It's that we're losing our top earners to other states.
Every agency, every public indicator, as well as all the private indicators, are telling us that people are leaving the state. And I can tell you, when I call U-Haul and I need to go up to Chicago and pick up records, I need a 25-foot truck. I'll call them up, and they'll go, we don't have any. Oh. Why? Because they're leaving the state, and they're not coming back.
That's pretty incredible. Well, yeah, and the governor, and I appreciate the call. Again, I asked him yesterday because we have new data out. Census data released this morning. And as a member of the media, we get embargoed data, so we kind of saw what was going to be released Thursday morning. And it showed that Cook County in Illinois was the second largest loser of people in the United States when it comes to counties, behind only Los Angeles. And I want to say on net, it was like 60,000, but a total of 90,000 people left Cook County. And what was fascinating when you go through all of the various counties across the country, including 102 counties in Illinois, what does it show? 92 of 102 counties in Illinois lost residents from July 2021 to July of last year. What does Governor J.B. Pritzker have to say when I asked him yesterday about, hey, there's indication more data is coming out that Illinois is losing population? Here's what the governor said.
That's not census data, just to be clear, right? A census is done. Yeah, fair enough. But we did not lose population, as you saw when the Census Bureau data came through for the 2020 census. We actually gained population, especially as they looked more closely after the initial announcements at what happened state to state. So I'm pleased about that. I think the American Community Survey data is a little more suspect, as you know, and clearly miscounted Illinois population over the years leading up to the actual counting of people during the census, and it continues to be inaccurate in its count.
Have you ever heard back from the census, the request that you guys put in? Because they haven't changed the number. We lost a congressperson in 2020.
Yeah, that is something every 10 years they do the same thing, right? They come out with the initial number, that's what they use. And partly that's because otherwise every state's reapportionment would be moved. And so they just set the number and leave it there. But we all know from the data that came out after that we gained population.
So again, Governor J.B. Pritzker seeming to deny that what everybody else is pointing at, census data, IRS data, private sector data, Illinois is losing population. And I don't know if it's just, he wants to be a spokesperson for Illinois and how great Illinois is, and recognizing that we're losing population shows that things aren't really turning around. He's been governor now for 4 years. He's going into his 5th year, and population continues to accelerate out of the state of Illinois. And the most recent data being released today from the U.S. Census looks at county-level data, and 92 of Illinois' 102 counties lost population. Cook County, the largest county in Illinois, second largest loser in the entire country behind Los Angeles. But still, Cook County is one of the most populated counties in the United States. We continue to lose population. Good morning. You're on WMAY.
Morning, buddy.
Hey.
I'm glad that you're back.
Appreciate it.
I don't understand where JB gets off trying to give you some history lesson and government lesson and everything else. Well, according to census data, it's like, yeah, you didn't know that already. I mean, I don't understand why he feels the need to try to, quote, quote, school you in any type of government officiating. And yes, basically, like you pointed out, well, the population is dropping because we lost a congressperson. And is he trying to tell you that, no, we didn't now?
He kind of equivocated it and said, hey, they have to move population around and they have to reapportion somehow. So it's just a shift of the, the little miniatures on the risk, play table.
Exactly. It's basically like, these aren't the droids you're looking for. Come on. What is he really trying to do here? The numbers don't lie. Everything that's coming through is accurate.
Yeah.
And like you were saying, the IRS census and all those other ones, people are leaving. If people were coming in, you should be able to lower taxes.
Well, we do have surplus revenues coming in, billions of extra dollars that was not anticipated. And the governor even says he's looking at possible tax cuts. He says he's reaching across to talk with the Republicans about it. We'll see where we're at with those conversations. But really, I've heard even more that needs to be done from the business community saying we need to, and I appreciate the call, we need to lower the cost of workers' comp. We need to lower the cost of property taxes. We need to lower the cost of doing business in Illinois, period. Because if you look at Illinois, the cost of doing business compared to some of our neighboring states, there is a disparity there. And that's one reason why the business community says as to why Illinois' unemployment rate continues to lag the rest of the nation. That's why they say it took Illinois an extra, a few years to even get to somewhat normal before the recession from 2008. It took more than a decade for Illinois to rebound. We didn't even rebound all the way before COVID came in and then rocked our world to where we're now still having to play catch up, still lagging the rest of the nation in recovery. We're still missing 40,000 jobs from what we had before the pandemic. Then you work in the latest numbers from the U.S. Census, and we're losing population. Again, Governor J.B. Pritzker yesterday, when I asked him, this is what he had to say about losing population in the state of Illinois, as all indicators seem to show.
That's not census data, just to be clear, right? A census is done.
County level data.
Fair enough.
Released today from the census.
We did not lose population, as you saw when the Census Bureau data came through for the 2020 census. We actually gained population, especially as they looked more closely after the initial announcements at what happened state to state. So I'm pleased about that. I think the American Community Survey data is a little more suspect, as you know, and clearly miscounted Illinois population over the years leading up to the actual counting of people during the census, and it continues to be inaccurate in its count.
Have you ever heard back from the census, the request that you guys put in? Because they haven't changed the number. We lost a congressperson in 2020.
Yeah, that is something every 10 years they do the same thing, right? They come out with the initial number. That's what they use. Partly that's because otherwise every state's reapportionment would be moved. And so they just set the number and leave it there. But we all know from the data that came out after that we gained population.
But again, the state's counties, 92 of them losing population, according to the latest U.S. Census data released this morning. All right, Springfield's Morning News. I'm Greg Bishop on WMAY. Now, 824 from Culver's West on Wabash.
It's time to apply at Culver's West on Wabash. We're hiring all positions, and did we mention free food? Only at Culver's West on Wabash.
The Ramsey Show. Here's a good rule. Never use a life insurance policy as an investment vehicle. 100% of those suck mathematically. There is never a case where leasing a car makes sense. Never do payday lending. There is never a case where going into debt at 18% interest on a credit card makes sense. These are all stupid things. They go in one bucket, the stupid bucket.
The Ramsey Show, weeknights at 10. Sponsored by INB. Bank Easy. Bank INB.
Now at Menards, save big money on your next project with the 11% off everything. Update your home with high quality and unique sliding barn doors from Colonial Elegance. Give your home an updated look with doors for any room in the house. Get a ready to finish interior pine barn door for only $99.99 after 11% rebate. Good through April 2nd. Savings are a mail-in rebate. Some exclusions apply. See store for details.
Save big money at Menards.
Hey, this is Maddie Brown from Lick Creek, and we're headed down Route 66 to Motorheads. So grab your friends, invite them all to a party in the Motordome. The band starts at 8, but come early for great food and, of course, cold Coors Light. Let's fill up Motorheads with the biggest party crowd this Saturday, April 1st. Don't be an April Fool and miss the fun. You can't go wrong with good friends, great food, Coors Light, and the sounds of Lick Creek. It's all this Saturday at Route 66 Motorheads. Don't be an April Fool.
I'm Captain Julie Plunk with Firefighters Local 37. We are supporting Misty Buscher for mayor of Springfield. We believe she has the qualities that make for a great leader and the belief that public safety should come first. It's time the city of Springfield becomes more proactive and not reactive to move all of us forward.
I'm Benjamin McGill with your local Springfield Police Benevolent, Unit 5. Public safety in Springfield has been ignored and mismanaged by the current mayor. As a result, our police department is deeply understaffed. This results in slower response times, which puts you in danger. We need a mayor who doesn't play politics with public safety. We need Misty Buscher.
Hi, I'm Misty Buscher. The men and women of Springfield Police Local 5 and Springfield Fire Local 37 have endorsed me as your candidate for mayor. Please join the working men and women who are your first responders in voting for me on April 4th. Paid for by Friends of Misty Buscher.
Greetings, hard-working Springfieldians. It's your friendly neighborhood Lauterbach man here. And if you don't mind me saying, you have a silly job. I know it's silly because you're not working for me, the Lauterbach man at Lauterbach Tire on Wabash. Imagine going to cocktail parties and saying, I work for the biggest man in town. Well, we're hiring, looking for smart service people and talented techs. You know that job you have that makes you work on weekends? Not here, my friend. We want our folks to enjoy themselves on the weekends and then come in refreshed, ready to make Springfield cars run great. Fantastic benefits, a nice juicy paycheck, and lots of ways to advance. Why, we have fellas who have worked here for over a decade. It's a fine family business if I do say so myself, so leave that silly job and come work someplace less silly. Except, for the giant outside. Lauterbach Tire on Wabash. Drive safely and come work for us now.
Love your mattress now? Wait till you try it on an adjustable base from Verlo. With just the touch of a button, you can elevate your head and kick up your feet to the most comfortable position imaginable for watching TV, reading, lounging, or whatever. And when you're ready, the adjustable base will turn your mattress back into a really, really comfortable bed. So you get a Verlo night's sleep. Good night.
The Verlo mattress mismatch sale is ending soon, so you better hurry. Mismatch on the outside. Same Verlo long-lasting craftsmanship on the inside that's backed by our lifetime comfort guarantee. Just put a sheet on it, and the only difference you'll notice is how much you saved. Yep, mismatch is ending soon. So hurry in now for unbeatable values during the Verlo mattress mismatch. It's our biggest sale of the year.
There's nothing cooler than saving lives. Right now, when you donate blood, we'll give you a handy-dandy 20-can Impact Life cooler bag or a $20 gift card voucher to one of our participating businesses. Even if you try to give blood and find out you can't, we're still giving you a gift. Visit the Impact Life Donor Center today at Wabash on Chatham Road near Goodwill or on South Main Street in Decatur. Please, give what's in your heart because we are changing the world together. Visit bloodcenter.org.
To protect his family from disaster, Steve used his camera phone. Done. By taking pictures of his important documents, Steve can always have them stored online. Learn more simple disaster prep tips at ready.gov. A message from FEMA and the Ad Council.
Head on over to WMAY.com where you can take today's daily poll, and the poll question is about the Springfield Treasurer's Race, where you can have choices of Lisa Badger, Colleen Redpath-Fager, or Bill McCarty. Been hearing all the ads. What do you think? Who's going to win? And as of right now, it looks like Bill McCarty still in the lead, according to our poll. It's not scientific or anything, but just so you know, Bill McCarty taking the lead after having a very close race thus far, at least according to our poll, with Colleen Redpath-Fager. But we'll see what happens, of course, when the polls open and close April 4th for the municipal consolidated elections. All right, so go take the poll at WMAY.com/poll.
Springfield's Morning News with Greg Bishop on 92.7 WMAY.
What a 24 hours it's been on another jam-packed day expected. You've got a ton of stuff going on at the Illinois State Capitol. Yesterday was Illinois Gun Owner Lobby Day, but it was also Ag Day, where a bunch of future farmers of America were lobbying the State House. But of course, they're on the scene, getting you some of the sights and visuals of what takes place at the Illinois State Capitol. And tomorrow, we're going to have to spend a substantial amount of time giving you some of the latest video evidence that's being brought up in the ComEd 4 trial up in Chicago. Looks like defense is now cross-examining the prosecution's star witness, and that star witness is Fidel Marquez, who has pleaded guilty. He's a former ComEd official, and we did see some of the undercover video that Marquez got for the feds, and sitting with two of the defendants. Well, more video was released last night after being showed to the court yesterday. I imagine there's probably going to be more released here in the near future. So we will do a much deeper dive tomorrow on all that we've heard so far, from the wiretap recordings of Madigan's voice being on there talking about how he doesn't want his fingerprint on things, to Mike McLean in undercover video suggesting that Madigan's fingerprints shouldn't be on these things, to Jay Doherty essentially saying, hey, this is all because of the speaker, to, what other types of evidence is being released. So a lot of really bombshell stuff coming out of that trial up in Chicago. And the outcome of what happens with the ComEd 4 case is going to impact the case against Mike Madigan, the former Illinois House Speaker, who faces a trial next year. So is some of that evidence going to be administered in the Madigan trial? Are we going to get a bit of a preview of sorts from all the evidence that's put into this ComEd 4 trial? We'll be watching that very closely, but it seems to be lifting the curtain, so to speak, so we could see behind the curtain on how power was managed in the state of Illinois through former Illinois House Speaker Michael Madigan, who wasn't just the Speaker of the House. He also chaired several very, let's say, wealthy political funds that were very fluid with cash. Not just his local ward fund, not just his Friends of Mike Madigan fund. He also controlled the House Democrats political fund and the Democratic Party of Illinois political fund. So you can imagine that having control of those, and he's apparently still paying legal bills from his political funds, though he doesn't control the Democratic Party of Illinois or the House Fund anymore. So, Madigan very much being talked about as a central character in the ComEd 4 trial, though he's not on trial until next year. So a lot of twists and turns there. Looking forward to seeing what ultimately happens as the case progresses. All right, it is Springfield's Morning News. I'm Greg Bishop on 92.7 WMAY, Springfield's News and Talk. Coming up, we'll tell you how you can get rid of some of that stuff that's in your closet or in your basement that you can't throw it out. You can't throw this stuff out. It's toxic. How do you get rid of it? And when Springfield puts on an event, is it just for Springfield residents, or is it something that all Illinois residents are going to be able to take part in? So we'll get details on that coming up next year. With a hazardous waste pickup and drop-off event that's coming up. So details next here on WMAY. It's now 8:34, and let's get an update in the newsroom.
92.7 WMAY.
Here are the three big things you need to know.
I'm Don Howard. Our top story: Russia's top security agency says an American reporter for the Wall Street Journal has been arrested on espionage charges. Evan Gershkovich was detained while allegedly trying to obtain classified information in Russia. The Wall Street Journal says it vehemently denies the allegations and is seeking Gershkovich's immediate release. Gershkovich could face up to 20 years in prison if convicted of espionage. He's the first American reporter to be arrested on espionage charges in Russia since the Cold War. The Center for Tax and Budget Accountability says that after adjusting for inflation, state support for higher education has fallen by nearly 50% since the year 2000, while tuition more than doubled during that time. The group says that has made college too expensive for many low and middle income households, and especially for students of color. The Chicago-based organization is calling on lawmakers to increase funding support for colleges and universities and to put more money into tuition support for low-income students. Comptroller Susana Mendoza has deposited another $150 million into Illinois' Rainy Day Fund. Lawmakers and Governor J.B. Pritzker approved the measure in January, bringing the balance to a record $1.22 billion. Another $850 million is scheduled to go into the fund in 3 installments between now and June 30th. Mendoza notes that the Rainy Day Fund only had $48,000 in April 2018 and recent contributions are one of the main factors behind Illinois' 8 credit upgrades in the past 2 years. The Springfield Police Emergency Response and Crisis Response teams will be training at Sienna Hall on the Sacred Heart Griffin High School campus on West Monroe today. While it is only a simulation, people in the area may see officers in tactical gear, hear announcements over a loudspeaker, and may also hear the sound of blank gunfire. Signage will be posted in the area to remind people that it is just a training exercise. The Rosenberg Moon Habitat, built by Ingersoll Machine Tools in Rockford, has been chosen as the coolest thing made in Illinois in the online Maker's Madness competition put on by the Illinois Manufacturers Association. The habitat is made of 3D printed polymers and is designed to actually be printed and built on the moon, where it could then house a crew of 2 people within the 23-foot tall structure. The design beat out more than 250 other Illinois-made products to take the title awarded yesterday in Springfield. The closure of Jefferson and Madison Streets at the 10th Street Railroad tracks next Wednesday for Springfield's rail consolidation project will last up to 14 months, while a new underpass is built, with traffic being diverted down to Carpenter Street. Cook and South Grand will have separate closures of around 10 days each, starting in late spring, while other closures at Monroe and Washington will get underway this summer. You can learn more about the project at an open house today from 4 to 7 p.m. at the BOS Center. Springfield's dependable 5-day forecast is next on WMAY.
News sponsored by Just Beds. A great night's sleep starts with a visit to the yawn exterminators at Just Beds. Online at justbedsinc.com.
Have you been following how the campaign for Springfield City Treasurer has a clear difference in candidate experience?
I have been, and have been very impressed by the current Deputy Treasurer, Colleen Redpath-Egger. She's actually been investing the city's funds with a proven successful track record of positive returns for us taxpayers.
You can't say the same for Bill McCarty. As budget director, his experience has been scheming to tax and spend more of our hard-earned tax dollars.
Not to mention that under McCarty's leadership as budget director, the city has raised taxes and fees multiple times during the last 2 administrations.
We can't afford a tax and spender like Bill McCarty in the city treasurer's office.
Agreed. That's why I'm voting for Colleen Redpath-Egger. Her experience working in the city treasurer's office will guarantee continued positive returns for all of Springfield.
Learn more before you vote on April 4th.
This message is paid for and approved by Citizens for New Leadership.
You could dig a hole in the ground and bury your cash, but that's no way to see your savings grow. Use an INBCD, and you'll earn a 3.14% annual percentage yield just for keeping your money with us for 13 months. The minimum deposit and balance for this certificate of deposit special is $10,000. For more details, visit INB.com. Apply at any INB branch or on our website. INB, member FDIC.
Welcome to Green Certified West, where the cars we sell are simply the best. Located on the corner of Veterans and Isles, our certified vehicles will make you smile mile after mile. We've got a team that is just plain fun. Our GOAT Squad is ready to get the job done. Have you heard of the GOAT Quote? We're buying cars that'll make us gloat. Simply log on to greencertifiedwest.com and take a look. Your instant GOAT Quote offer will be off the hook. So would you shop for your next ride with the GOAT Squad at Green Certified?
Everywhere with the WMAY app. 92.7 WMAY. Springfield's news and talk.
Springfield's dependable 5-day forecast on WMAY. Sunny skies today, high near 64. Showers tonight with low around 55. Tomorrow, a chance of showers and thunderstorms. Some of the storms could be severe with a high near 69, low around 36. Saturday, mostly sunny, breezy and cooler with a high near 47. Sunday, sunny and breezy with a high near 62, and Monday, a chance of rain with a high near 69. I'm Don Howard, 92.7 WMAY.
There are 3 words I always hear when someone from our staff is on the phone. We got it. Hi, it's Laurie from Rex Battery, and whenever somebody calls us and asks if we have a certain type of battery, the answer is always, we got it. Even in those very rare instances we don't, we know how to get it. And if we don't know how to get it, we'll build it. That's how committed we are to making sure you have the power you need. From model cars to real cars, from toys to tractors, dog collars to doorbells, riding mowers to remote keys. If it takes a battery, we have it at Rex Battery. Over 75,000 batteries in stock right now. So if you're wondering if we've got a battery, yep, we've got it. They're fresh, fully charged, and ready to go. keeping Central Illinois fully powered for over 60 years. Rex Battery, Clear Lake, west of Dirksen.
X with a double X battery. Generations of power.
Here at Warren Boynton State Bank, we're proud to be a true community bank since 1877. We remind you that the goal of a community bank is to work together with our customers and communities to help move them forward in positive ways. When we accept your deposits, we invest that money right back into this area, into homes, farms, and small businesses. One of our primary goals is to help this community in any way we can. And because we've invested in you, our friends and neighbors, our bank is safe and sound and in business to stay. We're sincere in our care and concern for this community. Our employers, directors, and managers are people you know, people who are dedicated to making this a better place to live. Discover what a true community bank is at Warren Boynton State Bank, 3030 Spring Mill Drive in Springfield. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Warren Boynton, your bank.
To protect his family from disaster, Steve used his camera phone. Done. By taking pictures of his important documents, Steve can always have them stored online. Learn more simple disaster prep tips at ready.gov. A message from FEMA and the Ad Council.
The U.S. Congress is throwing down the gauntlet on ByteDance, the owners of TikTok. The message is clear. Sell the app to a U.S. company or else face a nationwide ban. I'm Kim Commando, America's Digital Pro. TikTok isn't playing nice with your personal data. The app snatches up your search and browsing history, your facial ID, voice prints, text, location, photos, and then sends it all back to communist China. But what if you're a TikToker who made a bunch of those bite-sized videos? It's not pretty. If TikTok gets the boot, those videos will too. But it's not too late to save them. You have to act fast. First, go to your TikTok profile page and find the Settings and Privacy menu. Then look for the option that says Download Your Data and click it. TikTok will send you an email with a link to get a copy of all your stuff. Download the file, unzip it, and boom, all your videos will be in your videos folder on your device or your computer. And sound like a tech pro and get my daily podcast. It's called Kim Commando Today.
You can Google anything, but you can't Google trusted advice. And that's why millions just like you turn to Kim Commando every day on national radio, television, and USA Today to help protect and secure your computers, smartphones, televisions, and most important, to keep you and your family safe from hackers and scammers. If you're not already getting Kim's free breaking security alerts, you're missing a critical component to living in today's digital age. You can sign up now at commando.com/subscribe. Kim sends these free email newsletters to your inbox only when data breaches could expose your personal information. And when hackers find new ways to break into your computers and devices, Kim is always looking out for you. It's easy and free to get Kim's breaking security alerts. Go to commando.com/subscribe. Enter your email address and that's it. That's commando.com/subscribe. Commando.com/subscribe.
Springfield's Morning News with Greg Bishop, broadcasting from the Fly SPI studios. Take the easy way out. 92.7 WMAY, Springfield's News and Talk.
You know, everybody's doing spring cleaning. For me, I think a focus in my household is I got to get rid of some old clothes. So I'm going to have to go through all my closets and all my chest of drawers and clean everything out and either throw stuff away or donate it. But other spring cleaning involved includes getting rid of some of those hazardous items in your house, under your sink, down in the basement, out in the garage. What are some of those items, and how in the world could you possibly get rid of those? You can't just pour them down the sink. You can't just throw them away in a dumpster. No, you've got to get rid of them properly. And there's an event coming up that Springfield's hosting that's good for the entire state. And it's a hazardous waste drop-off. And Adina Rivas with the city of Springfield joins us now to give us details on this. Adina, thanks for taking time. I love it when you guys do this because every year I find new chemicals that I'm like, I don't need these anymore.
Right.
So what do we got
A
going
lot of
on?
people actually just have stuff that they have sitting around and they don't even understand either that it's a hazardous, something that you just don't want to throw away or put down your disposal or put down your sink.
Absolutely. So I guess give us all the details here. What should we expect? When should we plan? And what kinds of items?
Well, kind of exciting this year is, well, I guess it's kind of sad in a way. Last year, we partnered with the EPA to actually host an event, to co-sponsor, and it's at the Illinois State Fairgrounds. Last year, their disposal facility actually caught fire, which was interesting. So our fall collection was canceled, and we opened it up for only city residents, and the city basically took it back. But because of that fire, the EPA was like, hey, we'll give you an extra collection this year. So we're doing a spring and a fall collection. So this is the first of 2023, and we'll have another one in the fall. So I just kind of want to preface that, so if people, don't get a spot or they forget about it or they don't get a chance to do the spring cleaning quite as early as they would like, they can still get a shot in the fall. So anywho, to move forward, the actual event for the spring will be Saturday, May 6th, so you still have plenty of time to register. It'll be at the Illinois State Fairgrounds. Like I said, the event goes from 8 a.m. to 3 p.m. It's not just city residents. It's open to all Illinois residents. Preface on all underscore. Basically, if you have anything that is toxic, flammable, poisonous, anything that has a Mr. Yuck type sticker. I don't even know if they have Mr. Yuck stickers anymore.
If it's got a Mr. Yuck sticker still on it, you definitely need to get rid of it. Like, don't keep that around anymore. It might grow legs and
it's really old.
And turn into like some Ghostbusters episode or something.
Yeah. Right, or an exclamation point, or something with a big, huge red logo that says big old no. You're going to want to pack that up properly, bag it, make sure that it doesn't leak on your way over to the fairgrounds, and dispose of properly. It's a really straightforward, quick event. You get online, you sign up for a voucher. If you don't have access to a computer, you can come to Lincoln Library. They have plenty of computers that you can register, or you can call the Office of Public Works. We'll register you over the phone. You have multiple time slots that are available. Like I said, it starts at 8, and we have 15-minute increments. You have to have a physical voucher or sign up for a voucher, a time slot. So 15-minute increments goes from 8, 8:15, 8:30, so on and so forth, all the way to 2:45, event ending at 3. So you sign up, you tell them basically the stuff that you plan on bringing. You show up within 15 minutes, so before, after, so about a half-hour time slot is what you're given. You come to the back end of the fairgrounds to gate 6, keep the stuff in your vehicle, and you will basically be snaked around the back end of the fairground to the collection spot. You stay in your vehicle, pop your trunk, pop your doors, whatever it may be. The people that are there in hazmat type suits and PPE, personal protective equipment, will get the stuff out of your car and close your doors, hopefully, and then off you go. And it usually takes about 15 minutes from start to finish. It's a very fast process than it used to be in years past, especially because of the voucher system and then the quick and easy online registration. So all of the unacceptable items are actually online, as well as the acceptable items. So there are stuff that we just don't take. It's not that it's not hazardous, it's that we are incapable of actually taking it. So like fireworks and gunpowder, we don't want that. Something that's going to explode, literally, if you put a little bit of pressure and moisture or any type of spark, we definitely don't want to take that. If you have any questions, if you don't see something on the unacceptable list, and you're like, but I have this, I don't know if it's acceptable, it's not unacceptable, it's not on the unacceptable, give us a call.
What about tires? I know in the past tires are totally off limits.
Yeah, totally off limits. Tires, honestly, they have take back programs all over the place. So whenever you go get new tires, they're like, hey, would you like to recycle your old tires? I know I am probably one of the worst for doing it. I want to keep my best tire as a spare tire, and I ended up having all these tires.
But don't put it in your front yard. Don't just set it out in the front yard. I mean, come on.
It made a really beautiful planter, let me tell you. Upcycling now. But no, you can literally dispose of tires properly through any automotive place. You do have to pay a fee, unfortunately, anywhere from $2 to $10 if it's like, and of course, if it's like an industrial farm tire, it'll cost quite more, and you should actually have through your manufacturer a way to get rid of that. Sometimes we'll do a tire roundup through the city. It varies between when we actually do it. So oftentimes it'll be every other year.
So obviously a lot of information there. Where can people find kind of a central hub to determine what is eligible to be brought to the hazardous waste drop-off, what's not available, but also how people can register? And another question here, and just briefly, is there a limit? Is there going to be a cap?
No, we love to just take it all. Mind you, if you're registering and you have a voucher, there are 3 questions while you're registering. And the 3 questions are very simple. How did you find out about the event? It helps us know PR-wise how to get out the word.
So be sure that you say, hey, you heard it with Bishop on air, WMAY. Okay, it's just so we're clear. Okay.
Exactly right. But the second question is the most important. How many households will you be representing? Because we pull that information and you're on a checklist. So if you registered and everything else and you forgot your physical voucher, you are on the list. And next to your name will say how many households you are representing. So we have a general idea of what a household should actually have. So this is only for residents. And I can't stress that enough. And we've had people come to the fairgrounds and it's clear that they're representing a business or a company or something, and they have massive amounts. So it's really important that if you're representing more than one household, being that you're not just collecting for your household, but your neighbors and maybe your elderly parents or whatever, you want to make sure that you say 2 or 3 or however many households you're collecting. We've had neighborhood associations that have basically said, hey, can we pick up and have a trailer for our neighborhood households? And sure, yeah. But when you're registering, make sure that you register how many households you're actually picking up for within your neighborhood. And so when they come through, they come in with a huge trailer. We can verify that, hey, this is actually 4 or 5 households. Yes, check, please go through. But if you come and you're registered in only one household and you have this massive amount, we'll turn your way.
Dina Rivas, program coordinator for the City of Springfield Public Works. Give us the website one last time.
www.springfield, all spelled out, .il.us, like United States, /recycling, all spelled out. That'll take you straight to the Waste and Recycling webpage. And if you have any issue, just call the Office of Public Works.
Love it. Hey, we'll talk again about this in the future, all right, just to remind people that it's coming up. All right. Appreciate it. Dina Rivas, thank you so much for your time, as always, and be safe out there. 8:53, we got Crime Stoppers coming your way next.
It's time to apply at Culver's West on Wabash. We're hiring all positions, and did we mention free food? Only at Culver's West on Wabash.
This is Rob Zavitka, Director of Sales and Business Development Manager for Midwest Family Springfield. Are you the one person I'm looking for to help further build our media sales team at Midwest Family Springfield? We are the premier multimedia marketing company that no other company compares to in the Springfield area. It's really simple. I need one sales leader, a brand ambassador whose talent and team focus will thrive working with Midwest Family. Are you passionate, self-motivated, goal-oriented, and highly competitive? Are you an overachiever, a problem solver with great communication skills? Do you have the skill set for today's digital marketing? And do you believe in growing lasting partnerships? If so, apply online today at MidwestFamilySPI.com and click on the Careers tab. At Midwest Family Springfield, you'll be challenged, you'll be trained, and you'll have access to world-class tools like HubSpot CRM. Are you the one I'm looking for? If so, apply online today at MidwestFamilySPI.com and click on the Careers tab. Midwest Family is an equal opportunity employer.
I'm Mayor Jim Langfelder. Since I was elected, the safety of our community is a top priority. As mayor, we've hired 42 police officers last year, the most in 15 years. We implemented ShotSpotter and other technology, aiding in the reduction of violent crime by 40%. As mayor, the Springfield Fire Department achieved Class 1 certification, purchased 9 new fire engines and trucks, and we're building new fire stations. Springfield deserves the best. That's why I'm asking for your vote, Jim Langfelder for mayor on Tuesday, April 4th. Paid for by Citizens for Jim Langfelder.
Springfield Supportive Living. Are you young enough?
Hobbs is my favorite here, actually. He's a rabbit we've had for a few years, very friendly. He gets a little nervous when we have visitors with dogs. He lives like a king upstairs. 3 times a day, I come out and give him a little treat. I love being around animals.
Springfield Supportive Living. Are you young enough?
Hey,
Hey, this is Maddie Brown from Lick Creek, and we're headed down Route 66 to Motorheads. So grab your friends, invite them all to a party in the Motordome. The band starts at 8, but come early for great food and, of course, cold Coors Light. Let's fill up Motorheads with the biggest party crowd this Saturday, April 1st. Don't be an April Fool and miss the fun. You can't go wrong with good friends, great food, Coors Light, and the sounds of Lick Creek. It's all this Saturday at Route 66 Motorheads. Don't be an April Fool.
Anxiety. There's plenty of it to go around for just about everyone these days, but the question is, how are you dealing with it? Anxiety can make things difficult. If you find yourself reaching for drugs or alcohol as the solution, chances are your anxiety has gotten out of control. It's time to pick up the phone and call Gateway Foundation. You'll talk with someone who holds the strictest confidentiality so that you can open up and learn about treatment options. Our team of professional counselors, therapists, psychiatrists, and physicians have a long history of helping people like you get back on track. During the healing process, you'll find that there is nothing to be ashamed of. Calling Gateway Foundation is that important first step towards getting away from the self-medication of alcohol and other substances and on the road towards safe, rewarding, and sustainable recovery. Call Gateway Foundation at 877-505-HOPE for a free, private, confidential screening. Gateway Foundation, addiction medicine saving lives.
Less hassle, more travel. We've got connections. Springfield to Chicago O'Hare to anywhere you need to travel on United Airlines. From your next business trip to your next family vacation, United Airlines can get you there from the Abraham Lincoln Capitol Airport. Security lines are short, parking is always free, and customer service is a top priority. Book your next United Airlines flight from SPI at united.com.
SPI. The easy way out.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along, which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate through the site within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free. Just go to this exclusive web address, ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Springfield's Morning News with Greg Bishop. Weekdays 6 till 9 on 92.7 WMAY.
Ain't nobody got time for crime, but we do have just a few moments for Crime Stoppers to find out how you can get information to police to solve crimes and get a payout anonymously. Officer Drew Zabdos, Sangamon and Menard County Crime Stoppers Coordinator. Tell us about the crime of the week this week.
Yeah, thanks for having me, Greg. On March 1st, 510 East Monroe, there's a burglary. We're looking to assist the Springfield Police Department. Over $5,000 in copper pipes and wire and aluminum stud beads were stolen, and they caused $500 in damage. There was a couple of suspects that fled the area on a four-wheeler, per witnesses who were around the area. Once I have photos of them, that will be posted on our website, which is cashfortips.us. You can call our anonymous tip line if you can identify them. That's 217-788-8427. Submit a tip on our website or use a P3 app. And, of course, we pay up to $2,500 for any information leading to an arrest.
Make it happen. Get to cashfortips.us. Find more about this crime of the week, previous crimes of the week, and how you can donate to Crime Stoppers to help solve crime. Drew Zabdos, the coordinator for Sangamon and Menard County Crime Stoppers, greatly appreciate your time, and be safe out there, all right?
Thanks, Greg. Take care.
You too. It is Springfield's Morning News on WMAY. It's all the time we got today. Back at it, 6 to 9 tomorrow on WMAY.
From the Fly SPI Studios, take the easy way out. WMAY FM, Taylorville. Springfield's News and Talk is 92.7 WMAY.
Here's the latest from ABC News. I'm Emily. Tragic numbers in on the number of casualties in an Army helicopter crash in Kentucky. An Army